Wonderful. The chat should start up soon. Yep, and there's the notification. Wonderful. Da 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 da. I want to... What on earth? Hey everybody! Sorry, I'm trying to get things set up. Oh, are you kidding me? How are we doing? Oh, thank you, Girls Gone Godless. Are you flirting with me? Wow, scandalous. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hey Anna Grace, how's it going? Okay. I think... Gosh darn it. I think I am set up. Wonderful. Hello to Agnostic over on the YouTubes. Hey Church Shit, how's it doing? Hey Crovis, good to see you. I know you've been in the Discord server earlier. I am going to be fidgeting with my bangs because they just look so... They look like I chopped off the ends of my hair and glued these on tonight. I don't know why. I don't know why it looks like that to me, but it does. So, I don't know. I can never get my bangs to cooperate. We'll see if I ever do. I mean, sometimes they're like nice and fluffy, but then today they kind of like group up and it's just greasy looking. We'll make it through. Lily, sounds like you should request up to talk about it. Oh my Christian and I love science. You're Christian? Like when you keep in a basement? I don't know if I should call the authorities. Hey, main event. It is a lovely Tuesday night. I'm so sorry if you hear my stomach being upset. Caitlin, I don't know who you're talking about. If you're trying to talk about me, you're welcome to come up. Yeah, I don't know. Bloody Sinner, what's up with believers in the caps button? I agree, and it's funny because right after that, a believer used a bunch of caps. Oh, okay. Caitlin, I'm like, what do you mean? You're probably right, though. Yeah, I'll probably just say, like, oh, well, it's what the Bible says. The Bible says that the earth is 6,000 years old, and I've been reading the Bible for a very long time, and I have no reason to believe in anything else. Dean is live. Why am I? Because it's my normal schedule. Was that a good old lady voice? I should work on that so I can, like, trick scammers. I assume Dean Withers. Better than Dean Withouters. Rogo Solo Sholo? It would appear so. Withers, I hardly know her. Yeah, that's about right. Hey, Matt, welcome in. Ah, you're barely late. I've been going for 5 minutes. Oh, mechanical goat, have you read any good books lately? Um, I finally went back and read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the Hunger Games prequel. Um, I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Oh, thank you for the heart me. Because at first I was like, I don't know. The concept of like a prequel about the villain is kind of an overdone thing, but I shouldn't have doubted Suzanne. I shouldn't have. It was better than the movie. Yes. Um, it was really good. It was really really good. So would recommend. And the newest, the Sunrise on the Reaping, which is about to be a movie soon. Reading that made me cry my eyes out. Absolutely just bawling. So. All right, looks like we have a guest. Oh, hello?
Hello. Yeah, what's up?
Hey, hey, can I get your name, age, and pronouns, please?
My name, you can just call me Prophet. Uh, age 20, pronouns. I mean, really any pronouns you can choose.
Okay, I just asked that everyone in chat respects her pronouns. So, Prophet, what is your religion or lack thereof?
Uh, I'm sort of lenient towards any Abrahamic religion. I find them, relatively convincing. I
Any.
find
Now,
two of the more prominent ones to be more probable than the third account.
interesting. And which do you find to be the least probable?
I find least inductive support for Judaism. Um, I find its explanatory power to be a little bit weaker, as opposed to like the Christian doctrine or even Islam. Um,
That's just interesting because
but yeah,
without the Hebrew Bible, both Islam and Christianity wouldn't really make sense.
can you substantiate that? And by sense, I just wanted to get clear on what we mean by sense. Are you saying that there'd be like some sort of internal contradiction
Well,
in
yeah.
them or something?
So Jesus is supposed to be the fulfillment of a new covenant that was made in the Hebrew Bible. Jesus constantly refers to the old law and the prophets and reaffirms their accuracy and that we should follow their law. Um, all of the misinterpreted prophecies to try to set Jesus up as Messiah in the Old Testament. It's just like without any of that, why would we care who Jesus is?
Well, that seems to presuppose that there's this hindrance for Islam uh from the Hebrew Bibles. Now, uh, I don't really see justification for that. Now, if you just want to levy a criticism on Christianity simpliciter, that'd be fine. This would work. But you're applying it to multiple sets, and which I haven't seen the contingency relationship being applied there. And also, I have questions
Yeah,
about
okay, so
your strange
Prophet,
background with the false. But just
Prophet,
real quick,
no, no,
with
you
like a
don't.
false presupposition.
Excuse me. Hi. What the fuck? This is not the Prophet Gives a Monologue show, okay? I was going to ask you something. You can't just steamroll over me on my own stream.
Well, I didn't steamroll, bro. I was literally in the middle of a sentence, anyways.
Yeah, you were just nonstop talking and saying a lot of things that are unrelated to what I was saying. Like, you just completely didn't respond to what I said whatsoever.
Well, I grant you
Um,
don't think that they're related. I grant that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I love when people grant me
You're
things.
welcome.
So, Prophet, you didn't respond to my statement that without the Hebrew Bible, all of the supposed prophecies describing Jesus as Messiah, all the times where Jesus refers to the old law and the prophets and reaffirms them in their divinity, would be essentially meaningless if that's not the truth. So, what do you have to say in response to that specifically?
All right, you say that I have not given a response when I take it that, I did respond. Now, I could
You didn't
respond to
respond
like,
relevantly.
so it's another interruption now. Okay.
Yep. You're an asshole. If you want to stay on my stream, you're gonna have an actual conversation with me, or you're just gonna leave.
I just don't like when I get interrupted. Like, I have trouble like remembering my thoughts, and then
I grant that.
whenever I'm presented with like new information, like, I have to think about what was I going to say. I can't remember, and then I have to take time, and then they're like, hurry up. Yeah. You're slow.
Yeah,
You're like
just making
stupid
sure.
or something.
Oh,
At least that's my
wrong.
experience
Sorry.
on TikTok.
Sorry, hold on. I'm just making sure that we got pronouns on there for you. It's good enough, whatever. Sorry, so you were responding?
Yeah, so I already gave my response now.
No, you
You
didn't.
take it that the response was not salient.
Yeah, you didn't respond to what I
You
said
you
whatsoever.
yourself.
You just said, well, what about Islam?
You keep okay. Now you're saying whatsoever, but first I thought we were making progress. Where you're like, oh, you didn't respond relevantly, but you did respond. It was just irrelevant.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought we were at
you
least making
said
that kind of
you
progress.
said
But
words,
then you said
but they did
whatsoever.
not
Now you
relate to
interrupted.
what I said.
Yeah, but that's not whatsoever because whatsoever is universal quantification. You're just misusing words.
Bye. If I ask you what your favorite color is and you're like, it's a nice day outside, you didn't respond to my question whatsoever. Sorry. Glossary, guys. It's those GGs you gotta look out for. Hey, can I get your name, age, and pronouns?
I'm 23, Ridian, and I don't care what pronouns you use.
Gotcha. Alright, I just asked that everyone respects her pronouns.
Sure.
I was talking to chat.
Sure.
So, Ridian, what is your religion or lack thereof?
I'm a Christian.
What flavor?
You can consider me a Catholic.
I can consider you one, or you are one?
Well, no, you have to kind of go through a whole process to be a Catholic. I haven't done that, but I believe what a Catholic would believe.
Gotcha. So why do Christians deny science?
I don't think they do.
Oh.
Well, to be fair, I'll clarify. I think fundamentalists do, but I don't think.
Gotcha. So can you just tell me that Jesus never resurrected?
How would that be denying science?
Because people can't be resurrected.
Well, no, that would just be a category error. This isn't a natural claim, meaning it's not a scientific claim. You wouldn't use science to understand it.
Yeah, so science would say that once we die, our bodies begin to decompose.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Our organs stop working, and we cannot be revived.
Yeah, I'd agree that is what biology would tell us. Do you think biology tells us that if we are God, let's say?
Oh, there wasn't more to your sentence?
No, there was a question.
Do you think biology tells us if we are God?
No, I said I agree with you that biology tells us that, when we die, we typically stay dead. However, if we are God, however, if we are God, we aren't limited by
your
biology.
question was, do you think
nature.
Biology tells us if we are God?
Oh, maybe it cut out.
Okay, because that's all I heard, and I'm like, that's a strange question. Like, what do you mean? Is it like number of ribs?
No, I'm saying, imagine you. Do you think biology tells us, tells God that he can't resurrect? In other words.
Well, it's hard for biology to tell anything to non-existent beings, so I would agree that biology does not tell God anything, because he would have to exist to be told anything.
Well, you can engage in a hypothetical, I think.
But you didn't ask me hypothetically. You just said, do I think that biology tells God things?
Hypothetically, if God exists, do you think he would be bound by the laws of nature?
I would say probably not. I mean, depending on the God, right? Because there are gods.
God, I'm a Christian, so.
Gotcha. Yeah. So again, it would depend on the God.
Okay, so the Christian God, the kind of the omni-everything God. Do you think biology would?
I can't do a hypothetical with a logical contradiction.
What's the contradiction?
He can't be triomni. It's a logical contradiction.
What's the contradiction?
To be all powerful and all good.
Mm-hmm.
That's the contradiction.
What's the contradiction? Yeah, I'm asking, how is that a contradiction? Maybe?
Yeah, because in order to be all powerful, you would have to have the power to not be good.
In order to be all powerful, you would have to have the power to not be all good. Is what you said?
You would have the power to not be good, not all good specifically. You would have to have the power to not be good.
Well, that would be the logical contradiction, like a squared circle. God by definition would be good. He would be maximally good.
Yeah, you're not engaging with what I'm saying. In order to be all-powerful, he would have to have the power to do things that are not good.
Well, no, that wouldn't be. In order to be all-powerful is to be able to do anything that's logically possible.
And it's logically possible to do bad things.
Not if you're perfect.
Like, can God... Well, I mean, then you could say he's all good, but he's not all-powerful.
Well, no, because I'm telling you, I'm saying that would be the contradiction that you're presenting.
The omnipotency is hindered by omnibenevolence.
Yeah, I'm asking how. You then said, well, actually, maybe if you explain it again, maybe I missed it.
Yeah. So, for example, does God have the ability to lie?
I would say no.
Okay, so that's a power he does not have. He is not all-powerful.
Yeah, that would just go against his goodness, which would be the contradiction.
Sure, which means that he doesn't have every power.
Yeah, that's fine. In the same way God can't create a squared circle, that wouldn't mean he isn't all-powerful.
It would, actually.
Well, no, this is just...
It's because Christians like to redefine all-powerful to mean only logically possible. But if God, if God transcends logic,
it would make sense that you take on my position, right?
If God transcends logic, which many times I've been told he does, then he would not be constrained by it.
Was that a question?
No, it was a statement. If God transcends logic, he would not be confined by it.
Another statement or what?
That was repeating the same statement, I fear.
I think it was. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, since we're having a debate, I'd prefer you respond to it.
Sure, okay. Again, we're kind of going on why Christianity denies science.
Okay, so did you want to, like, just go back to the beginning? You lost your place in the script, and so you want to start all over, or...?
Well, no, I think you're presenting an argument you aren't terribly familiar with. I explained the contradiction, and then you made a statement. You then repeated the statement. You kind of got lost in the script, I fear.
No, you didn't respond to my statement, which kind of voided your statement.
Well, you made a statement. You didn't ask a question. In other words, how am I meant to respond to a statement that is misrepresenting a position that I don't hold?
You could explain why you think it's a misrepresentation. Do you need debate coaching services? Because I charge $20 a minute.
I'll explain the Christian position. It is that God is all powerful, meaning he can do all logically possible things. To be able to do something that's logically impossible, would be the contradiction. God can't contradict, therefore he...
So God is constrained by logic.
It would be constrained by his being, which is logical.
So God would be constrained by logic.
Well, he would be constrained by his being.
Are we going to just keep doing this over and over and over? I need you to clarify, would God be constrained by logic?
What would you mean by constrained by logic? I'm saying
I think you know because you already responded God being constrained by something else, so you know precisely what I mean by that.
I said he's constrained by his being, which would entail logic.
So therefore, he would be constrained by logic.
Goodness gracious.
Ridian, why are you acting like I'm the one not tracking? You're just trying to avoid saying it.
What am I avoiding saying?
That God is constrained by logic. Because you want to make it, he's constrained by his being, which aren't we all? All of us are constrained by our beings. All of us are all powerful in the things that are within our nature to do.
What is the Christian position of God?
Christian position of God? Probably doggy, because they're constantly taking it from behind from that son of a bitch.
What is the position? I'll ask again.
Usually the triomny, which again is logically contradictory.
What does the triomny God entail?
Omnipotency, omnibenevolence, and all-knowing. All-knowing, all good, all powerful.
Omniscient, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I forgot which ones I'd said already.
Three is a big number, I agree.
It is. I just learned to count to it yesterday.
That would make sense.
Yeah. I know you learned a long time ago because you got yours in inches, right?
In what?
Inches. It's a unit of measure here.
Inches.
I'm in.
Yeah.
It's bigger than a centimeter, so I'm being generous. I could have said centimeter. You would have understood it then, but it would have been less fun to the American audience, and I'm kind of catering to them.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I appreciate that. Everything is about us. So you were saying?
No, I was asking you to define the Christian position. You got lost on 3 numbers, which is okay. It's a big number.
1, 2.
I'm joking.
Holy fuck! Where am I?
I know it's tricky.
Yeah, sometimes my brain just like drops to my uterus, and it's like, oh no, period.
Yeah.
Does that ever happen to you?
Woman. Troubles of being a woman.
I'm not, and you know that, but I mean, you said any pronouns for you, so.
No, it doesn't happen to me. I'm not a woman.
Oh, well, I mean, I wasn't assuming because you're gender fluid, it seems.
Yeah.
Interesting. Which fluid? You kind of strike me as a piss guy.
Oh, what? Sorry.
Piss guy.
Biz guy.
Piss. You strike me as a piss boy.
Oh. That's odd.
You didn't say it was wrong.
No, just odd.
Yes. He's not denying it. Uh-oh. Yeah, so the triomny, again, I'm going to say is logically contradictory. Because for you to say that, he can only do things that are within his nature, well, that's true of everyone. I can only do things that are within my nature. That doesn't make me all-powerful. To truly be all-powerful, you would have to be capable of anything, even unconstrained by logic, which is logically contradictory by necessity.
So you would say that God existing in kind of any way, it would be logically contradictory?
No, not in any way, just triomny. I would say that God existing in any way is against any evidence we have, but...
Sure, but and again, by triomny, you mean all good, all knowing, all powerful.
Well, slow down, that was too many words.
I know, it's tricky.
Can you stop after the second one and give me some time to catch up?
Yeah, you're okay. But you would say that necessarily is a logical contradiction.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I would disagree, but you know.
All right. Well, does that mean we're done here, Radian?
I don't know. I mean, I'm having a good time.
Are you? That means a lot to me. Get out.
I know.
All right.
Yo, so
welcome back. I hope you got a power nap.
Well, no, I'm still sleep deprived, bro.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
But,
I'm working through it, bro. Of course.
But okay. Yeah. Well, if you can go more than 2 minutes this time, I would very much appreciate it.
And I'll go for 4, bro.
New record for you, bud. Up top, woo!
So yeah. So you're making a positive claim here. Why do Christians deny science?
That's a question.
That Christians deny science. What do you think science is, and how do Christians deny it?
Oh, science. That's when they get all the colorful liquids in a beaker and they pour it back and forth.
Type. Okay. So they get all the colorful. Yeah. And how do Christians deny it?
Oh, they're like, oh no, the rainbow's for God. You guys can't have the colors.
Yo. Okay. So other than layman's, can you tell me how can we be serious?
Layman's? I love that show. I dreamed a dream of time gone by.
Yeah, you got enough audience interaction, bro. Go ahead and define science for me.
I would define science as a method of making observations about the world around us via empirical data.
Empirical data is just going to be data in virtue of the senses, correct?
Not necessarily. So we try our best to go outside of subjective evidence. So repeated observation is a form of empirical data, but typically we would prefer things like measurements that can be made by machine and replicated, etc.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, so just replicable data, I guess. How do Christians deny that?
So let me ask you a few questions, see where on the scale you are. Do you think Adam and Eve happened literally as depicted in Genesis?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay, how old do you think the Earth is?
Probably like a couple billion years old.
Okay.
Maybe 8 billion.
You overshot it. Do you think that the flood happened as depicted in the Bible?
Flood happened? Maybe, I don't know.
You don't know?
Oh, like inclination-wise, sorry. I have an inclination towards no.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear the thunder, like, outside.
That's thunder? Holy shit, I thought you were just, like, really close to some train tracks or something.
Yeah, you know me. So, yeah, that's just...
I don't at all. You've been on here twice,
relax,
and the second time you left after 30 seconds.
I'm basically like an audience, like a fan favorite, essentially. You should, like, run a poll if y'all like me. No, I'm kidding.
All right, nope. Too late. Too damn late. You dug your own grave. We're gonna do a little quick poll. No, let's just see if we like Eileen real quick. We got a happy face and a frowny face.
Smiley face. Okay, frowny face is actually if you like me.
No, it's not. It's so not. It's so not.
Wait, why is this? Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, why is it neck and neck? Yeah, not even. Oh my god.
No, okay. It is very far from neck.
Yeah.
It is not neck. It is neck and toe, my friend. I am afraid.
Right. Well, it's more like 1/3, so it's like neck and maybe neck and knee, like 1/3 the human body.
Yeah.
Like knee below. Like how would you divide the human body? Like horizontally.
Probably with a saw. Oh, what were you asking?
Okay. Well, no. Like neck, torso, like top of the legs.
Well, clit's got to be its own thing. So that really only saves 2.
Okay.
So I would just go down the middle at that point.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
Sorry to anyone who joined on that.
Well, yeah, that was 1/3. I'll take it. That's 13 people. And so yeah, dude, I just blanked like crazy. Where were we on again?
The flood.
The flood. Yeah, nah. I have an inclination towards that.
Okay, good. Do you think that Jesus was conceived via an immaculate conception?
Yeah.
See, that's where we get iffy. Now, okay. There is one way. You can stay in line with science here. You would just have to say that Jesus was a trans man.
No. Obviously, right.
Because there was only female DNA there, right? So, unless... Yeah. You think God cummed?
Well, no, like... Are you not saying that Jesus was composed of both Joseph
No, this is an important question. Did God cummed?
Well, no. I think that Jesus was composed of, like, just Joseph and Mary.
Joseph and Mary?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, like, Joseph, like, did it into a cup, and then God turkey basted it into Mary?
Sure.
That's how you think it happened?
Sure. I mean, it really just depends. Okay, let's not get into semantics.
You think your Lord and Savior is a turkey baster, baby?
Well, it depends on how you define virgin. Like, if they actually had, like, penetration or not. Or just,
I mean, virginity is a social construct, so...
Right, so... At the time, I just associated with penetration, so I guess that could be, like, a logical possibility, I suppose.
Yeah, there's no indication that Joseph's cum was a part of the story. Or any
Well, I mean,
cum.
Joseph was the father. Joseph is referred to, like, the paternal figure as Jesus.
Well,
so.
Yeah, because he raised him as if he were a father.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
This feels like a pretty big thing. Like, where's the missing cum?
Yeah, I could just say it's from Joseph.
Okay, so then Joseph and Mary had sex?
No.
Because Joseph seemed really, really surprised that she conceived at all. If you remember, he was considering taking a deal, like just letting her out of their marriage contract to try to save her dignity, until an angel came down and said, hey, chill, dude. God cummed in her.
Right.
So, wouldn't that imply that Joseph didn't come into a cup?
Into a cup? It teleported.
It teleported straight from his balls.
It's quantum like superposition, or sorry, quantum tunneling. Just
quantum tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
That was my nickname in high school. Interesting argument there. So, God teleported the cum. Also, every censor on these platforms is gonna love this conversation. So the cum teleported from Joseph's balls,
right,
into Mary's womb, and that made Jesus.
Quantum tunneling, baby.
Quantum tunneling, and that's what it's used for, as we all know.
Right.
Yeah. That's great.
All right, next one.
Yeah, I just want to ask, after the last conversation, you're still a Christian? Just double checking?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, damn it.
I try my best.
I thought maybe when you were having to, like, make up quantum tunnel of cum, that you were maybe like, I should re-examine my thoughts.
I should re-examine scientific evidence backing up quantum tunnel.
There's scientific evidence that the cum was quantum tunneled out of Joseph's balls?
Okay, well, not that part, but, like, it's a logical possibility, of course.
It's a logical possibility. Uh-huh. Sure. It's a logical possibility. If that's what Christians have to cling to sleep at night, all right. I've been trying this whole time to try to think of like a portmanteau between quantum and cum, but quancum doesn't sound right. So if someone in chat could help me out with that, I would appreciate it.
Like quackum.
That's worse. So do you think that Jesus raised from the dead?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's another issue, and no teleporting cum is going to get you out of this one.
Okay.
You might get creative.
What's the issue with that?
That he raised from the dead.
Okay, but, like, what's the issue with raising from the dead?
You ever died before?
Depends. Like, what do you mean by die? Like, brain dead, heart stopped, what?
Either, because now I'm just fucking curious.
Well, yeah, of course. My heart stopped before.
What the fuck happened? Did all the blood get quantum tunneled out of you into some guy's balls?
Nah, like, I just came in here, I saw you, my heart stopped, and it was like,
oh, well, that's unfortunate, because I'm, like, very much in a relationship.
Okay, well, no, okay, relax.
Yeah.
So, on a serious note, yeah, it really just depends on what you mean by, like, he's dead.
Okay, well, they declared him dead. They supposedly speared him in the side, and he didn't react whatsoever. They went through a whole burial process.
Well, so I'd assume that you're talking about, like, the 7 virtues of life, where it's, like, metabolism.
Well, let me ask you this. If Jesus didn't fully die, would he have actually, completed the covenant? Would he have fulfilled the
Well, no,
the
he died, yeah.
Right.
He died. He went brain dead. But it really just depends on, like, what we metaphysically assign to the essence of Jesus. Like, what is Jesus when you really think about it?
Fake.
Well, no. Like, well, actually, no. There's more evidence of Aristotle.
Kumquat. Sorry, someone said kumquat.
That's terrible, dude.
No, it's like kumquat, the fruit.
Yo, you're onto nothing. No. Okay.
I'm changing your name on here to kumquat, and you can't stop me.
Okay. Oh, my name?
Yeah. It's up there. You can't really see it on TikTok.
Right. Okay. My nickname. So, okay.
No, it's your name now, and everyone here's gonna call you that if you ever come back.
Sure.
Come back.
All right. So yeah, just like dead. It just depends on what we metaphysically assign to Jesus. Like, what is, like, Jesus? What's the essence of Jesus?
Are you doing slam poetry right now?
Mm-mm.
Okay, good, because you're not very good at it. And I didn't want to tell you that.
Well, so usually whenever we're talking about Jesus, we're just talking about, like, the metaphysical identity. Essentially, like, he's half half God, half human.
What? You're saying something?
Or sorry, fully God, fully human.
Okay. Makes no sense, but
and
alright.
So, like, there was an atom, right? When he died, there was an atom that flew from his body outside to another human being. And that other human being...
Alright, have a good evening, kumquat. entertain it for so long. I'm sorry. Christians out there, if you think you can do a better job than that, you probably can. Go ahead and request stop. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm going all right. Can I get your name, age, and pronouns, please?
Victor, 43, he...
All right, Victor. Wonderful. What's your religion or lack thereof?
Christian.
All right. Why do Christians deny science?
I don't believe Christians deny science, maybe some of them.
Were you here for the quantum com tunnel conversation?
No, I just logged in and then I just heard, I hope someone can do a better job than him, and I think I can.
Yeah, he said that God teleported Joseph's cum from his balls into Mary's womb.
Yeah, he's not right.
There you have it, folks.
Do you deny the existence of God?
I'm not convinced there is a God. I am convinced that the Christian God specifically is fake.
Oh yeah, how come?
I mean, a multitude of reasons, but that's the topic of this one is science denial. If you want to come back to God not being real or God being an a-hole, there's other streams for that. I want to talk about science. So, do you think that Adam and Eve, the whole Garden of Eden story, do you think it's literal?
Yes. Do you understand everything about science, like how everything works?
If you ask me any question about science, I can answer.
You can?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Well, I don't know if this is a scientific question or not, but I'm from Costa Rica. I came to the country a few weeks ago. I was traveling, and they don't do fingerprints anymore. They do the whole take a picture thing, so they can see through my eye that who I am. In other words, there's no other person like me with that fingerprint, but it's a print in your eye, I guess, now. So how does that work? Then everyone has a different one. No one has the same print or the same eye code.
Yeah, magnets.
Sure. How does it work? Then no one.
No,
has
that was my answer.
one.
I said I could answer any question. I didn't say I'd answer it correctly. So you believe that the Garden of Eden story is literal. That is interesting. How old do you think the Earth is?
Well, can you answer my question? Like, how does it work?
I did. I said magnets. So
what I don't understand what that means.
You haven't heard of a magnet before?
A magnet, like the metal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like stick to things?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. So the Garden of Eden. How long ago do you think it was?
How does a magnet explain that I have a unique fingerprint?
I didn't say it explained shit to you. I said I'd answer your question. So
you just answer with a random word? Is that how you answer?
I didn't say I'd answer correctly.
Okay.
I just said I'd answer.
Sure.
You got what you were promised. So, so how old do you think the Earth is?
Magnet.
Fuck, he got me good, guys.
What? I answered your question.
That's actually pretty good, Victor. I like that.
Well, just answering questions here.
No, that's a good one. I dig it. I dig it. Chat, clip that. Clip that, chat. I want to be tagged in that later.
I don't know how old it is, to be honest. I have no idea.
Oh, if you're
thousands of years.
A guess. Thousands. That seems low.
Okay. What do you want to hear? Millions? Millions of years. Trillions of years old. Between billions and trillions.
What?
Magnet.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, so for Earth, it's a little less than 5 billion, we estimate. For the current state of the universe, it's a little under 14 billion. A bit larger than thousands.
So, do you read that somewhere, or how do you know that?
Primarily through radiometric dating.
And can they explain how every fingerprint is different or no?
Yeah, we have different DNA because we are a sexually reproducing species.
So that makes us unique in regards that
well,
no one
first
is
of
the
all,
same in regards to fingerprints, or
there actually have been reported cases of matching fingerprints. It's just very, very, very unlikely. But the main thing, like the reason it's so unique is because of how many base pairs are in our genome. Now, to be fair, a lot of the human genome, our DNA, is pretty useless. It's inactive or it's not expressed, etc. But because there are, I want to make sure I get the exact number right. So I believe it's hundreds of billions.
Oh, that's cool. With your knowing all scientific answers, do you have like a Nobel Prize or something? How do you know everything?
It just happened one day. Like, I hit puberty, I got tits, and suddenly I knew everything about science.
That's cool.
Well,
and here we are now on TikTok, huh?
I know, right? Best place to go. That's where all the other geniuses
I gotta
are
go. Thanks.
Okay, fuck. Bye. I might have been way off. How many? Okay. Okay, so some are saying it's like 3 billion base pairs. Another source says 6.2 billion base pairs. Either way, I was way off. Is that why Einstein had such great tits? Equals MC cup squared. Am I right? Ooh, someone in chat thinks I'm a trans woman. That's fun. Nice try at being transphobic, but you've only made me more powerful. How are we doing tonight? Like, do you guys have a good day? I'm always asking, like, chat, am I cooked? I'm never asking, chat, how are you doing? Like, on a scale of 1 to 37, how are we feeling? Thank you, Green. That's very kind. Ooh, Panda Express. You had a nerve block test done. How does that work? Solid 29. Hell yeah. I like that you guys are using decimal points. We're using some sig figs in here. Magnets. Yep, that one's gonna haunt me, isn't it? Oh, YouTube chat's a lot lower. 6, 12, 13. I'm sorry, y'all. Well, hopefully I can make it a... Hopefully I can take it from a 6 to a 7. Hopefully... Hopefully I can take it from a 6 to a 7. I'm disappointed in myself. Can men get pregnant? Ask someone. I'll keep trying and get back with you. Are we getting some Christians tonight or what? Listen, I can't make them. I can antagonize them. Wake up at 11:30, feeling like a bag of shit. Oh no, all my clothes are dirty, so I'm smelling like a bag of shit. Avogadro's number good. Oh, that's huge. Men acquire babies through their mouth. Actually, it's quantum tunneled from their balls. Hey, Gemnick says I did take them from a 6 to a 7. Woo! What was that song? That was Shit by Bo Burnham from his Inside special. Some men can get pregnant, some women can get pregnant. Any man, I can get them pregnant. And that's a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. That's a lie. Esker, if you want to come up in here and talk about it, you are welcome to. Joining this live got you pregnant? Well, I am not paying child support, but welcome in and thank you. I know you've been here a while. Sarcasm is lame. Yeah, we all hate sarcasm in here. Could you be any more correct? Present a better theory than evolution, and I will agree with you. I don't think you know what theory means. Oops. Thank you for saying hi, PoopCum69. I appreciate it. Do I? I do. Hey, Crystal. It is good to see you. See, PJ is my cat's name, so responding to a PJ in chat feels odd. Magnus is better than evolution. I fear I've really fucked myself with that Magnus thing. Because him saying it back to me made him a lot fucking funnier than me in that moment. Like, I set that up so well for him. My face is glowing. I put goop on it today. I had an audition. I think it went well. But here's where the autism comes in. So one of the people on the panel, the audition I went to, I had done this cabaret show with where the audience tipped us to drink during the show. So we got progressively drunk as we were doing this ridiculous show. It was a whole lot of fun. Everyone enjoyed it. And so I recognized that person on the panel. And the first thing I said when I saw them is, "Oh, it's good to see you sober." Without context. Was not my finest moment. Now, I did laugh it off, and I made it into a funny thing. I made it into a little bit. But that is not the way you want to start out an audition. By going in and saying, "Oh, it's good to see you sober." How do I make the background? I bought mine off of Etsy, and I'm gonna say the creator's name this time. Oh, maybe not. Because it's spelled Titty-O-Liddy, but it's each word just has one T. So it's TityoLity. So I got all the assets from them, except the text. The text I did myself. Because I'm special. Welcome in. My finger is over the disconnect button if I hear a certain sequence of chords. I swear to the God that these fucks believe in.
I don't have my guitar on me right now.
Okay.
I'm drinking an orange Fanta. You hear that? You hear that snap? That snap, crickle pop.
I don't trust you. What brings you here today?
Oh, I'm
just
sorry.
to
Did y'all hear my
torture me?
Yeah, I'm just coming in.
You sick fuck.
I know it's been.
Were you here when that guest was funnier than me?
No.
Okay, good. That didn't happen then.
Yeah, I mean, who could possibly be funnier than the goat, the robot goat?
Okay, you can stay up a little while.
I'm not evil. Hold on. Let me see. Where is my camera? Look. My hands are right here, not on a guitar. Not on a guitar.
I don't know why, but I have expected you to pan down and be holding a guitar with your feet. That would have been so good. Okay, I just feel like I'm getting ASMR or like Reiki now. Is that what you guys want? Do you want this to become an ASMR stream? Oh, the exposure on my camera does not. Hello.
Oh my god, ASMR deconstruction, hashtag reading bad Bible stories.
Jesus. Was not God.
My connection is horrible, I'm sorry.
I do love me some ASMR. I have to be careful though, because there's one particular ASMR artist that I have a past with.
And someone commented,
and that person is fucking
can a biologically
everywhere.
born male? My bad.
No, it's good. Yeah, someone's doing transphobic shit, and it's like, just asking like, can men have babies? Can men get pregnant? It seems like he's really into impreg and just
Honestly,
like wants me to like affirm
that's
it for
what
him.
I was thinking.
It's like, yeah, men could get pregnant, and then they're gonna lactate too. You sick fuck! Like, what do you want from me?
Brosephine, go on AO3. You'll find all the fan fictions you want.
They're out of beta now.
Oh, I don't really know that. I never actually used AO3.
Me neither.
So how's church, since we all know you're a amazing, impeccable Christian?
Well, I am wearing a shirt right now. I'm gonna... Oh my god, I'm really gonna have to... Okay, I will flip my camera even though it's gonna make my face feel weird. But just so you guys can read the shirt. Oh, did it not? It still didn't fucking do anything? What the fuck? What the hell? Okay, hold on. I want you guys to be able to read my shirt. What is it doing? Why is it just moving it slightly? I'm hitting flip. Okay, there we go. So it's... Jesus could have turned that water into Baja Blast. Now let's make sure I can show the last part without flashing people. I don't know if I can. You might be able to get what that word is. Ooh. Did you read that? I'm flipping my camera again now because I hate seeing my face flipped. Did you read it?
Something about he wouldn't because you something, I'm not too sure.
Because you flicked the bean. Because you, played with your joystick.
Oh.
I can't show the word on TikTok. That was kind of also purposeful.
I don't know, man. People are always like, oh no, I need to watch what words I use, but on my live, I never do it on anybody else's live because I'm not going to risk somebody else's live, but on my live, I will just straight up say the words so violently and I get like nothing. Like no, like TikTok just simply doesn't care.
Well, it's a little bit different when it's like typed out because then there's like very obvious proof of things. But yeah, this shirt was a gift from Rat Soup. It was an anniversary gift. So Jesus could have turned that water into Baja Blast, but he didn't because you masturbated. It's everyone out here. It's all your faults.
It's crazy how there's almost 200 people in here and no Christians.
Oh, there's some Christians in here. They're just pussies.
Makes sense. Did the primates we evolved from go as they them? What a stupid question. Yes.
I don't know. I didn't get to ask.
Did the primates who have not yet developed the English language go by the English gender-neutral pronouns they, them? What a question.
I didn't
What
get
a
to
what a what a
ask
what a
them.
hypothesis.
If we don't send, he died for nothing. Damn right. What the fuck? Sorry, sometimes I read a comment, then it just like flashbangs me. Since we are having some trouble getting some Christians in here, you know what would probably help is if people like tippity tapped on the screen.
Joel, I just saw Joel come in for a split second.
Where did Joel come?
Oh, I saw like he joined the live for a split second, but it's often because it's just the For You page.
Yeah, he doesn't want to actually like watch my content. He's told me that before. He's like,
I keep on seeing M's.
It actually makes my tummy hurt, he said.
Bruh.
He used
Whenever
the word tummy.
I go live, oh dear, I don't trust a person who uses the word tummy. That is a stomach.
Yeah, but what can you do? There's a request. Hello there, Diane.
Hi, I'm friendly. Is it okay if I'm up here for just a few minutes?
I am mostly trying to keep it solo. I was actually about to kick Marceline out. But
Oh, no.
I'm not good at doing that.
No.
So could you kick Marceline out for me? Could you let her down gently for me?
I can just go.
No, I need Diane to do it now.
What?
Oh, I don't think I have the power to do
Oh no,
that, but
I'll be the
wasn't-
one who actually
I didn't
kicks her. I just want you to let her down gently for me.
Oh,
Just
okay.
let me down slowly. Don't put me down gently.
See, she so has it coming.
I wasn't
did I
wanting
even-
to co-host or anything. There was just something that I wanted to bring up.
Sure, what is it?
Okay. I had this thought, and I just thought since you didn't have any ops, I would come up and bring this up. But I had this thought the other day that, you know, when Christians talk about everything being perfect and the world being perfect and everything, I thought, perfect for who? And I never hear anybody asking about that. Not that I see every single live, but like, if it's perfect for God, then why is he so unhappy about the things going on? Like, then that doesn't make sense. And it's clearly not perfect for us because there's all of these problems. So who is it supposed to be perfect for?
Yeah, they'll just obfuscate and say, well, it's perfect in that we're even able to live at all. And that's the perfection. It's perfect to be able to sustain life. And it was perfect for everybody before original sin happened. That's the answer that you'll get, unfortunately. I don't think it's a solid one, but...
Yeah, well, it never is, right? So...
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming up.
Maybe I'll piss off some Christians and they'll come up. Come and tell us why
I
the
do
world
I do
is
see
perfect.
one in requests.
Okay. Have a good night.
Well, Marcy, I'm kind of in a pickle
One last
now,
thing
'cause-
before I go.
Well, she was supposed to let you down gently. You did it wrong, you bitch! You didn't even do the right chords! You didn't even do the right chords! But I was ready. I was ready. She was using her toes? Maybe! Was holding the guitar with her feet the whole time! Next up, we have Mason.
Yes, sir. Bro, do you remember me? I was driving the first time I joined, and then you kicked me, and then I came back, and then my brothers interrupted, and I had to go.
Yeah. How old were you again?
I'm 22. Doi.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I'm just kidding.
Doi.
I'm sorry.
And what pronoun should we use for you, Mason?
He, him.
Wonderful. And you're not driving this time?
No, I'm in my room.
All right. You did say you were gonna poop, but you requested up really quickly after that. So did you poop?
Here, I'll even go in my bathroom so you can hear the ambiance. So you know
I don't need to hear the ambiance in your bathroom.
Okay, well I won't go.
I'm worried
then.
it'd be like PT in there. I'm just gonna hear like a.
You just have to take my word for it then.
Okay. Did you wash your hands?
No, I'm gonna shower here in a little bit. I didn't think I needed to.
You got poop hands, Mason.
No, I'm just playing. I did wash
You
my
ain't
hands.
coming on my live with poop hands.
Bro, I'm trolling. Did you listen to Iceman?
Who?
Drake's album, Iceman?
No.
It's really good. You should give it a listen. I recommend Whisper My Name, but
okay.
On to bigger and better things.
No, for you, I recommend the 1986 Little Shop of Horrors movie musical adaptation starring Rick Moranis and Ellen Green.
That's a song?
No, it's a soundtrack, but particularly I think song-wise, I would recommend Mean Green Mother from Outer Space.
Mean? I'm writing this down. I'm not even kidding. Green Mother.
I chose the weirdest one I could. From Outer Space.
Outer Space. Okay. By who? What is it? It's a musical. What's the musical?
Yeah, you'll find it if you look it up.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we could start cordially. This is exceptional. Wow.
All right, Mason. Well, let's hope it continues. So, why do Christians deny science?
What portions of science do we deny would be my questions.
A lot of them, the age of the Earth.
Okay. Well, biblically, so also, carbon dating isn't as exact as people like to claim. There's been studies done that say carbon dating is not as factual as they say it is. So there's that. Most of the dinosaur bones in museums and like major museums are fake. That's another thing. The government lies all this. Yeah. They're fake.
Yeah, they're not claiming, like most of the time, they're not claiming to be the actual bones. They are casts of the bones because the process of fossilization is going to leave behind gaps. Like, you know how Christians love to fill in gaps in their knowledge with God?
Mm-hmm.
We fill the gaps in fossils. So we can put them on display.
Okay. Well, I would just say that the age of the Earth. Okay, even if so, I wouldn't even say that Christians deny the Earth's age. It's just, what does God's timeline look like more so? Nobody knows what God's timeline is because he is infinite. He is all-knowing. So, like, when he says soon, like when Jesus says he will come back soon, like when he's talking about after being crucified, soon could be 1,000 years. Like,
it's like when my dad said he was coming back soon.
I can't remember the...
Mason, you poop exploded. That's because you didn't wash your hands. I'll give you a chance to reconnect, because 3 times would be rough. Damn, he really did. Mason, I can't hear you. If you can hear me, you can request back up. I know what's about to happen when I accept this request.
What just happened? Did I get booted?
Hello.
Your microphone stopped, but first I gotta hear whatever.
I'm not super impressed with old feces phalanges down there, but I did have a legitimate question. This might sound silly, but Mary of Nazareth and Mary Magdalene are 2 very different people. That's correct, right?
I'd probably have to get back to you on that. I'm not gonna lie.
This is more of a question for the host. Feces phalanges, please go wash your hands. This is a question for the host. Are Mary Magdalene and Mary Nazareth
what's your
are 2 different people, right?
Yeah. What are you gonna say?
Okay, that's like that. And no, that was it. Mary Magdalene was an inspiration for the Lord's Prayer, as I recall. And is it true she had an impregnation kink?
Why would you ask one of these questions that is not a question?
I thought that was correct. That's my understanding. She was daily bread, right?
No. Christ, bro. What is this, bro? Okay.
I just know to expect it now. I know to expect every single time I let them up.
Bruh, that low-key was kind of insulting. I mean, I'm gonna take it on the chin, of course, but that was kind of insulting.
Just like Mary Magdalene.
Bro, why are you guys so insulting? I have been nothing but cordial. We literally just traded songs. What the fuck is insulting
about cum shots? Holy shit, Mason, lighten up.
Bro, I'm respecting you. Why won't you respect me?
I never said they were doing cum shots on you.
Yeah, but you're disrespecting something that I find value in. So, like, my faith is something I value, and every time I've been in this live, all I see is people disrespecting and talking absolute shit. And it's like, I don't care about cursing or whatever, but, like, blatantly disrespecting someone else's, like, truth is, like, that would be like me saying, like, you believe in fucking rocks and you're R-word. Like, bruh.
Oh, that would devastate me, Mason. That one would. Whoo! Okay, I don't know if I can get past
something crazy, but like something you value. Like, would you like it if someone?
You believe in rocks?
Like, would you like it if someone was like, just like something you value and they just completely shit on it and disrespect it, or like you have something that happens in your life and someone just shits on it and just completely doesn't give a fuck?
I'm a musical theater fan, Mason.
What does that have to do with being disrespectful to other people's values?
My interest gets shat on daily. You ever pull up and like hand me the aux cord I'm gonna put on Bernadette Peters?
Bro, I love theater. Like this is
ally.
Okay. Bro. I don't know. I feel like that doesn't correlate as well, but
all right. We like to have a little fun here, Mason.
That's not fun though. That's like literal degradation. Like I'm being degraded right now.
Not the word, and also it was Mary Magdalene. It would be degraded. Degrade these nuts.
Whoops.
So,
but let's just have our conversation. Like, holy balls.
Language warning. Yeah, so you mentioned the studies for carbon dating. The primary one I hear about a lot is the Mount St. Helens one. There's a couple issues with that study. So they used potassium argon dating, and they used a sample with very low traces of the elements that they were looking for. In addition to that, different types of radiometric dating are for specific like lengths of time. Now, can it technically measure any distance? Any amount of time? Yes. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it can do so accurately. Like, is there technically a number of, like, millimeters in a mile?
Yes.
Right. But if you were trying to measure something that was, like, this big in miles, would you probably get a very accurate number if you were trying to just describe this distance in miles?
No.
Right. So sometimes...
I mean, you would still get an accurate number, it'd just be a very small number.
Eventually you would get a number that's so small that you can't reasonably be accurate with it. Because even the, like, this to miles comparison is not the same thing. Because when we're talking about spans of billions of years... that's a long fucking time. So you'll have a margin of error that can be so great that even like the tiniest rounding error will completely fuck up your results. But again, the problem with most of those carbon dating studies is they are trying to measure this in miles. So another way is like I've said is like trying to describe your shoe size in miles. You're probably not going to get the most accurate measurement compared to if you use something that was more reasonable. If you were trying to measure this distance and you used inches, you would probably get a more accurate result than if you tried to measure that distance in miles.
Well, I'm not even saying... I don't even think... Well, so I'm a little different. I don't really follow, like... strict Christian protocol, so like I could honestly even see, like, hopefully God gives me wisdom and tells me, but like I don't totally disagree with the earth being older than what Christians claim. It's just what God's timeline is, and we don't know what God's timeline is, so I couldn't even give you a number for that in my honest opinion. Like
Gotcha. Well, I will also say the rest of the fossil record definitely conflicts with the biblical account of the beginning of Earth.
How so?
Well, for one, we have tons and tons and tons of fossils from our hominid or like human ape-like ancestors. So, if Adam and Eve were the first humans, why do we have Australopithecus afarensis, which is like an earlier relative of ours? Why do we have fossils of Homo habilis, Homo neanderthalis,
aren't
Homo
we related
erectus?
to like
Erectus.
Sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to
I was just making a joke about erectus.
Nice. But aren't we related? Aren't we like genetically related to almost every species on Earth?
We are related to all kinds of life, which supports the idea that we all stem from a common ancestor, not just humans, but that all forms of life, if you go back far enough, have one
Yeah, you know what
ancestor.
that ancestor would be? It'd be God. Oh my God, bro.
No, because Mason...
That common ancestor would be God, because we're all creation. Oh my gosh, that made so much sense. Thank you.
Mason, that common ancestor would not have a brain.
Bro, but if God is the creator of the universe, he would obviously be everybody's ancestor and everything's ancestor because he created everything. Like, bruh.
No.
Yes, we're related to God. Who just said we're related to God with a question mark? He created us. He made us in his image.
God doesn't have a physical body, so we would not be related.
Well, he does.
Whether or not things are related, that would determine like if they share DNA. If God the Father doesn't have a physical body, we cannot share DNA with him.
Well, God the Father wasn't the only one who created everything. Jesus was there too.
Okay, but at the time, did he have a physical body?
Yes. They're a trinity. Jesus said he was there from the beginning.
A physical body.
Christ?
Not a spiritual body.
Yeah, Christ
So Jesus has always been human?
He literally says...
Before he was born?
Let me find... Well, because he's God, yeah. He's fully God and fully human. He said he was there in the beginning. He's literally...
Yes,
John
that doesn't mean in physical form. Most people interpret that to mean in spiritual form. That God, in the form of the Son or Jesus, was existing as like a spiritual right hand to God the Father in heaven. Not that he was
that wouldn't make sense,
an actual biological... It's a trinity. They say that they are all...
They have differentiation. They are different. They're not all spirit.
Well, I would say...
There's the Holy Spirit, there's the Father, and there's the Son.
Well, I would say that the idea of the Trinity is kind of nonsense in itself. Because how are they three distinct beings, yet one being?
Because, well... So you have to get a little illogical with something like this, because God, you can't quantify God. So if God, bruh, that's like saying
I agree, you have to be illogical.
That's like saying Thanos with all the Infinity Stones shouldn't be able to snap. Like, bruh, he has all the Infinity Stones, he can do what he wants, bruh. Like,
yeah. So saying that we have to get illogical to believe in God is a little bit more of a tell than I think you realize.
Illogical in the sense of the divine, because the divine can't be understood by us. Not in like like a logical, scientific, or mathematical
being against human understanding is different from being illogical.
Okay, well then I would say against human understanding then, I guess.
Okay.
But he literally, 1 John, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. So Christ was there as a human, because he's not different.
It doesn't
like when
say
he resurrected,
as a human.
Bro, when he resurrected and went up to heaven and came back, he was still human. Like, they touched his hands, they touched his feet. He is a human. He is God as a human being.
They also said that he walked through walls.
What? Where does it say he walked through walls?
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I had to look it up. I'll pull it up for you.
What? You gotta pull that up for me. Is it in, like, past John? I'm guessing. It would have to be post-resurrection, no?
Where is it? Ooh, I gotta sneeze. I'm gonna try to turn my mic off.
Bless you.
Thank you. I hope I didn't deafen anybody.
Acts, the Ascension. So when they come together...
I think it's John 20:19 is what this is saying.
What? John 20, verse 19.
No, that's not the verse I was looking for. It was one where it was like even though they were in a locked room. Yes, it is. It's John 20, starting in verse 26. A week later, his disciples were again in the house, and Thomas was with them. Although the doors were shut, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here and see my hands. Reach out your hand and put it in my side. Do not doubt, but believe."
He didn't walk through walls, he appeared. It doesn't say anything about him walking through a wall.
Although the doors were shut, Jesus came and stood among them. So...
yeah, Jesus never physically walks in. He always appears. Like, Jesus came and stood among them.
You're telling me this motherfucker fast travels?
Yeah, he's God, bro. He can.
It never says that in the Bible. This is the one time this is mentioned.
Literally a page later, Jesus appears to 7 disciples. After this, Jesus
That's
revealed
not
himself
what it means by appear. Mason, no.
Jesus revealed himself again to the disciples by the Sea of Tiberias.
That does not mean that he just teleported. Like, if you go to court, you appear before a judge. You don't teleport into the courtroom.
Okay, well, it's not descriptive enough to even say how he appeared, bro. Like, literally in both... Bruh. You can't say... Bruh. Like, come on. You can't say he walked. Like, what could he have done?
The pig lizard turned inside out.
He could have walked, he could have jogged, he could have ran, he could have crawled, he could have slid.
Jesus hit the gritty to the disciples.
He could have rode a Fortnite shopping cart, bro.
What do you mean?
He could have rode a Fortnite shopping cart into that home.
I'm sure he could have. But he should really stop revealing himself to crowds where there might be kids.
What? What? Where do you get that from?
Revealing him. You said reveal himself.
Oh my, bro! Why
it's lost on you, Mason?
Why are you making it dirty?
Kind of my thing.
Oh, okay. We'll do your thing, twin. Take that ass for Drake, bruh. You gotta listen to, dude. Seriously, listen to Iceman. It's actually so good.
All right, you go jam out to Little Shop of Horrors then.
I will. Okay, what are some other sciences that we deny then instead of, or I guess we could keep talking about the Trinity.
Well, God denies how female bodies work.
How so?
He has a rule where in order to prove that she's a virgin, a woman must show that she bled on her wedding night. But that happens less than half the time. So it's possible that people who were virgins were stoned to death because they did not bleed.
Wait, they didn't bleed? Oh, like, because it was like, oh.
So when...
Yeah, I know what you're saying. God, where does he say that?
Yeah, it's in Deuteronomy.
This is Old Testament. Where in the Old...
Yes.
Yeah. Is it Leviticus?
Deuteronomy.
Numbers...
It's in Deuteronomy 22. So... I'm gonna be skipping around a little bit just to skip, like, unnecessary details, but nothing that changes the meaning, and you're welcome to read your version along with me. But suppose a man marries a woman, but after going into her, that is, having sex with her, dislikes her.
Wait, which verse is this?
Deuteronomy 22, starting in verse 13.
Okay,
and makes up charges against her, slandering her by saying, I married this woman, but when I lay with her, I did not find evidence of her virginity. The father of the young woman and her mother shall then submit the evidence of the young woman's virginity to the elders of the gate. So what do you think this evidence would have been?
If any man takes a wife and goes into her and then hates her and accuses her of misconduct and brings a bad name upon her, saying, I took this woman, and when I came near her, I did not find in her evidence of virginity. Then the father of the young woman and the mother shall take and bring out the evidence of her virginity to the elders. Shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter to this man to marry, and he hates her.
Keep reading. Then they shall spread out the cloth before the elders of the town.
I did not find in your daughter evidence of virginity, and yet this is the evidence of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloak before the elders of the city. Then the elders
so the cloth was, it's from the marriage bed. It was meant to catch the blood to prove her virginity.
Mm-hmm. But if you literally read a verse later, after she proves her virginity, the elders of the city shall take that man and whip him. So basically it's saying that if a man falsely accuses a woman of not being a virgin, he shall be beaten.
But here's the problem, Mason. This is a faulty test because women bleed their first time less than half the time.
But God isn't saying she has to bleed.
But what happens, keep reading to verse 20, what happens to her if there's not blood on the cloth?
And they shall find him 100 shekels of silver and give them to the father of the young woman, because he has brought a bad name upon a virgin of Israel. And she shall be his wife. He may not divorce her all his days. But if the thing is true, that evidence of virginity was not found in the young woman, then they shall bring out the young woman to the door of her father's house. And the men of her city shall stone her to death with stones, because she has done an outrageous thing in Israel by whoring in her father's house. So you shall purge the evil from your midst.
So it is entirely possible under this rule that a woman who was a virgin and did nothing wrong can be accused by her husband of not being a virgin because she did not bleed on her wedding night. So, and if they can't produce evidence that she bled, which she didn't, so they wouldn't be able to produce that evidence, then she would be stoned to death. So under this law, it would be possible to stone innocent virgin women to death. Well, they're no longer virgin, but they were virgin when they got married.
So my question is then, do you think God will justly or unjustly look at this, and he would know if she's a virgin or not? Do you think he would look at these men and be like, oh, you did a great thing because you...
Well, this is a law that he is putting in place. Why would he put in place... It is. Why would he put in place a law that allows innocent women to be killed?
Well...
And you can look up and verify. You can look up and verify before you say the shitty thing. You can look up and verify that women do not bleed every time on their first times. And hymens can tear for a multitude of reasons. Some people just don't have them whatsoever.
It literally, well, if you just go a verse later, it even says, if a man is found lying with the wife of another man, both of them shall die. The man who lay with the woman and the woman. I think you're kind of picking and choosing. God doesn't unjustly give out rules. Obviously, there's consequences for men who adulter and commit sexual immorality. So yeah, stoning a woman, I think it's horrible. I don't think anyone should be stoned. But
again, Mason, I agree, no one should be stoned. But my particular problem with this rule is that the test is faulty. It can fail. You can get false positives or false negatives, I guess. I don't know what that would be considered. It's very, very possible that even if she was a virgin, she didn't bleed. But if that is the case, and he decides to say that she is not a virgin, she doesn't have a way to prove that she was a virgin. So by this law, she would get executed. So an innocent woman could be executed if her husband decides he doesn't like her and he wants to tell this lie about her. Why would God make a law that could get someone innocent killed?
Well, I would also look at the times that they were in. Obviously, God can't, he can intervene, but that would defeat the purpose of free will. So for the times, yeah, that
You don't think he's intervening by giving
faulty.
them 600 laws?
Hmm?
You don't think he's intervening by giving them 600 laws?
Well, you do have to have a standard. I mean, how do you have a standard if it's not given to you?
Okay, well then give a standard that doesn't have the opportunity of executing women who are innocent.
There's probably laws that would get innocent men executed too. I mean, I think everybody could be innocently executed. There's people who get executed today that are innocent that do nothing in Middle Eastern and African countries.
This is specifically a law given by God. If God is all-knowing, if God created the hymen, why does he not know that there's not always blood the first time a woman has sex?
Well, that is the only way that humans could, I'm guessing,
but it's not
figure out if someone was a virgin. Yeah, it's not reliable, but for the time that he gave the law, there's no other reliable way to know.
Then don't make it so that they have to prove it this way if it's not reliable.
But then the standard is gone, and anyone could say they're a virgin just by word of mouth, and then they could lie.
Okay, they could lie here too, because this is not a sure thing. A man could lie and say, my wife wasn't a virgin, and she wouldn't be able to prove her innocence if she didn't bleed.
Yeah, and God is going to justly send that man to fucking hell. Like, I don't know what to tell you besides that.
It doesn't say that. This is God telling them to do this, that she should be executed if she cannot produce that evidence.
Yeah, but he's not saying, oh yeah, you can lie about it if you want to.
Well,
like, if the man lies, he's going to go to hell.
But he's not preventing it, right?
Because then he'd be intervening.
But he doesn't intervene by making 600 laws.
Do you want
him to go... He literally does make a rule that says don't lie.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't follow it. Exactly. You're proving my point, and they don't follow it, bro.
You're missing the point here,
I am.
Obviously, what Mason is saying is that the reason this law is okay is because there's other laws that are really bad, too.
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, so this, like, basket of rotten apples.
Because since an innocent man sometimes would also be murdered, it's okay to murder innocent
It's not okay
women.
To murder innocent. I'm saying that
that's
there
what,
can
that's,
be...
That's what you were phrasing.
He was like making your argument for you, Mason.
There are people
you know what he
who
could have
lie.
done? An interesting move could have been to make it so that all women do bleed the first time. He could have made that the anatomy.
I think it'd be more fun to swap it.
Yeah, everyone does. All men and all women bleed.
Everyone bleeds.
Yeah, he also could have made it where a woman's value doesn't hinge on their virginity, like just how it does.
Oh no, he might be all powerful, but he can't do that.
Oh, that's nothing. Okay, well, just a few suggestions that I'd help out.
It's not logically possible.
Dude, literally in the New Testament.
That'd have been pretty cool, though, right, Mason? If it had been like anything else, you know.
Well, we're also a fallen creation, so there can be complications. We were perfect until we fell, so
I think he should have given us all like vagina dentata.
I don't even know what that means.
So if you've ever, I don't know, like seen a mouth with teeth in it, and then you've also seen a vagina, and then just like blur your eyes together till they're like overlapping.
Like a magic eye.
Oh yeah. You look into the distance and they bite.
Like a vagina with teeth?
Yeah.
Ew.
I'm also open to the idea of just switching them so that the mouth has, labias.
Well, we do.
What?
Labia is just lip.
I'm just saying there's lots of options that he could have done, and of all the options he chose, sometimes women guilty of horseback riding are going to be put to death.
Oh, that whore!
As right. You know, not bareback. Sorry, I didn't mean bareback riding, but like an actual horse, robot goat. Yeah, that's confusing. So it's just kind of like a really crappy law that a perfect God gave imperfectly.
Hmm. I kind of got lost in thought. I'm sorry.
See you later.
So what I was trying to say though, I'm not saying one wrong, like another wrong makes one wrong right. What I'm trying to say is that because there is human error, you can't take God's law and then put it under human error because God's not the controller there. Humans are.
It's the
so
law
if someone lies,
faulty.
That's not God's fault. Like there's innocent people who die all the time. That's not God's fault. That's human decision and human error.
Okay, so if a tsunami happens and people drown, that's because of human error?
We live in a fallen world, bruh.
All right, Mason. Wash your hands, come back another time, have a good evening. Welcome in. Can I get your name, age, and pronouns?
Well, I get master machine gun. I'm a U.S. Marine, 54 years old. I was curious. I was listening into the room here. What's this room about?
Well, you were listening in, so you should know. But what pronouns should be used for you?
I'm sorry?
If chat were going to refer to you, would they call you a he, a she, a they, something else?
I'm a he, yeah.
All right.
I'm not cousin it.
Okay, I think it'd be more funny if you were.
Well, the room is, why do Christians deny science? Are you saying you're religious?
No.
Okay, so you're atheist.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I get into some of these rooms and I can't believe it. You know, when you start reading about all these, I mean, I was religious at one time too. You know, when you're in a Bible study and you're a small child and you listen to all the beautiful stories of Noah's Ark and stuff, and then you get older and you start reading the evil shit in the Bible. It's really messed up, and you're like, how is this, the word of God? For one thing, I hate it when people say, and I'm not going to keep rambling on here, when they say Jesus says this in the Bible, or Jesus says that. Jesus never said a word in the Bible, for one. And then two of the Gospels never met Jesus, but yet they talk about him. And then they weren't even around. I mean, if you really start pulling that Bible apart, and the people that are religious think that their religion's better than everybody else's, but if you don't believe in their religion, you're going to hell. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, I mostly try to keep it to debates up here, so if you do agree, there's not much for us to talk about, I fear. But if you'd like to give us one more lengthy laugh for the road.
What's that?
You just got a great laugh.
Oh, thanks. I was just listening into the conversation. I didn't know what this room was about then, okay. But, yeah.
Thank you for coming up.
Yep, thank you.
Have a good evening. Didn't get that laugh, though. Hey there, Can I get your name, age, and pronouns? Well, I'm assuming you're Julian, is that correct?
Yeah, my name is Julian. I'm 25 years old. I go by he and him.
Alrighty, what is your religion or lack thereof?
I'm a Methodist. I'm a Protestant Christian.
Alrighty. Well, as a former Baptist, we always look down on you guys, so I'm sorry. Why do Christians deny science?
We look down on you too, don't worry.
I know. Why do Christians deny science?
Christians don't deny science. Christians actually invented science. Christians gave science to the world. Most of the things that we think of when we think of modern science were invented by Christians. The idea of a university itself as a institution was invented by Christians, given to the world.
Can I ask you some questions?
Of course.
How old's the Earth?
4.5 billion years old, I believe.
Okay, were Adam and Eve real people?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, there's one. Did the flood happen?
What do you mean by the flood?
The worldwide flood is described in Genesis. Noah's Ark.
I think the flood described in Genesis is phenomenological. I don't think there's evidence for a global flood.
Okay. Do you think that the Exodus happened as described?
I don't think it was accurate in the numbers given. I believe in a much smaller Exodus.
Gotcha. Do you believe that Jesus was born of a virgin?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
So there's another one. Do you believe that Jesus raised from the dead?
Oh, yeah, I think there's gotta be.
Okay, are you actually Dean Withers?
No. I talked to you a little bit earlier, but I was on the video, the other thing.
Yeah, I remember talking to you. You very much sound like him. And I was about to start singing that "We Are Charlie Cake" to just like terrorize you if you were.
What do you think is the evidence that Adam and Eve weren't real people?
The idea that two people could not start a species of Homo sapiens.
Well, I think whenever I say Adam and Eve are real people, the claim I'm making is that there are two people that are the ancestors of all humans. Two humans.
Yeah, that's incorrect. It's estimated there was a population of about 55,000 from which Homo sapiens emerged.
So what I'm saying is that I think that literally all of those 55,000 would be the ancestors of every human. So it's like if you have 3 children and they have 3 children, you end up having an enormous amount of ancestors after just a few generations.
Right, but you're saying that were Adam and Eve Homo sapiens?
Yeah, of course.
Were they the first Homo sapiens?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Yeah. I mean, I think humans were evolved via evolution by natural descent. If
there were other Homo sapiens before Adam and Eve, how would they be the ancestors to all Homo sapiens?
Well, it's basically because through large amounts of intermarrying, like
no, I'm saying if Chad and Stacy were already alive and doing their thing when Adam and Eve were first created, well then some people are going to be descended from Chad and Stacy, not Adam and Eve.
But those aren't mutually exclusive. You can be descended from both Chad and Stacy and Adam and Eve. Another way to think about this is
no, not if you have no relation to Adam and
Eve. So okay, think about it this way: you have 2 parents, you have 4 grandparents, you have 8 great-grandparents, you have 16 great-great-grandparents.
I understand.
Time you go back,
I think I need to clarify.
Uh-huh.
Not all Homo sapiens would be descended, because would Chad and Stacy's first child be descended from Adam and Eve?
Oh no! I'm saying everybody alive today is descended from Adam and Eve. Yeah.
Okay. So when you say descended from Adam and Eve, you just mean that you think there were some individual. To say 2 specific individuals, that's going to be tough to support.
Well, I mean, no. The theory of evolution tells us that there are lots of individuals that could be candidates for Adam and Eve. This is not.
So you don't think they actually
couple.
knew each other?
No. They certainly knew each other in the biblical sense and in the traditional sense. I don't see how they could have children if they didn't know each other.
Well, you just said there's lots of candidates, so that would imply that there's like a big pool to choose from. But if it has to be 2 people that know each other, that kind of limits your pool. I'm gonna say
okay.
Pool one more time.
Maybe here's another way to say it. If you're telling me at one time there was like only 55,000 Homo sapiens or 50,000 Homo sapiens, I'm claiming almost every pair that bonded in that group of 50,000 is a universal ancestor of all modern Homo sapiens, and almost every pair that had children would be a candidate for Adam and Eve.
It would be a misnomer to say that's a universal ancestor, because not all Homo sapiens. The universal ancestor would have to become before all the others.
Yes. So when I say universal ancestor, I mean from everybody alive today.
That wouldn't be a universal ancestor.
Okay, what would you like me to call that?
You could just saying ancestor, but it's not necessarily true, because if there were 55,000, I mean, it's unlikely given the size of the current human population, But it is possible that there are some members of that 55,000 that we are not related to whatsoever.
Yes. And all I'm saying is that there needs to be at least one pair that we are all descended from. And I think that that is almost certainly true.
You would have to have evidence for that.
And
okay. Also,
here's a line of evidence.
What would be the significance of that? Like,
well, it would show a way in which science has actually confirmed what the Bible says.
The Bible doesn't say that, though. The Bible doesn't say that God created 55,000 humans at the same time and he named 2 of them Adam and Eve. Adam is
Bible tells us
shown as the first human created.
Yes, and I would agree with that.
And then Eve. And it does not describe...
I could buy that.
It does not describe him creating other humans from that point on.
Oh, sure it does. Cain and Abel.
Adam and Eve created Cain and Abel.
Okay, so whenever God creates a tree, there's multiple ways he can create it. One of the ways he can create it is by poofing it into existence. Another way he can create a tree is by a seed falling into the ground, the seed sprouting roots and germinating.
Oh, we're about to get back to quantum tunnel of cum, Julian. I don't want to do cum tunnel again.
That's a crazy way to describe my argument.
Yeah, you should have fucking been here earlier, dude. Someone actually said that Jesus was born via quantum cum tunneling.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Jesus was born by a miracle.
She's against science, but yeah, I don't. When we're talking about creating, right? Mm-hmm. The poof into existence is more what I'm talking about, because I wouldn't say that like 2 people having sex and then having a child is God creating that child. I would say it's the 2 people creating that child.
That's really interesting to me, because last time we talked, you said that God was responsible for the Holocaust because he made the world, and the world ended up having the Holocaust. You said Hitler was not responsible for the Holocaust.
Yeah, I didn't say God created Hitler, but God created the circumstances. God created the world specifically knowing the circumstances that would allow Hitler to rise to power and create the Holocaust, and he still made the world that way. So yes, he is responsible. He did not create Hitler.
Okay. You think he didn't create Hitler, but he did create the Holocaust?
Yes.
Am I understanding correctly?
Yes.
That's a very, very strange
He created the universe in a particular way, knowing that it would result in the Holocaust.
Do you think he only created the bad things in the universe?
Well, at first, I don't think there's I don't really believe in transcendental good and bad as categories. You would then say he is responsible for the good things too, but if he's claiming to be all good, then it's not the good things that are a problem for that claim, right? It's the bad things. So if he knew with 100% certainty, which he would have to if he's all-knowing, hey, if I make the universe this particular way, the Holocaust will happen, and he did it anyway, then yes, he has responsibility for the Holocaust. But that doesn't mean that he directly created Hitler. He created a world knowing it would lead to Hitler rising to power and causing the Holocaust.
Yeah, I mean, I think the point that I was trying to make was the way that Genesis is written can be understood as phenomenological language that adheres very closely to the way that we understand the scientific development of humans. And I do think this
doesn't adhere whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, the Bible claims there are ancestors of all. There is a pair of humans that is the ancestor of all living humans.
Which is not.
That is confirmed by evolution. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Do you know the theory of evolution? Do you know what natural descent is?
Natural descent?
Sorry. Descent from a common species via natural selection.
Yeah, this evolution thing. Can you maybe give me a little more details about it?
Yeah, happy to. So each generation, whenever there's reproduction, there's sexual reproduction, a copy of the genetic information is made, and oftentimes there. I mean, there's a scientific word here. I want to say it's like RNA Polymerase. I'm not going to be able to give you this. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to give you the name of the specific processes. I can describe evolution for you if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, it's just, through meiosis. But would meiosis result in haploid or diploid cells?
Yeah, I mean, this is a vocabulary
humans.
term. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, well, for humans, it result in haploid cells, but the fusion of two haploid cells would produce a diploid cell, so that would be why we have differentiation via sexual reproduction? Is that what I'm hearing?
So what the claim I'm making is that whenever the DNA is copied, whenever the genetic information is duplicated, there is sometimes mutations that happen. Some of those mutations increase the fitness. They create phenotypes that make you more likely to reproduce. Some of them decrease fitness. They produce phenotypes that make you less likely to reproduce. The ones that increase fitness are basically, just by definition, more likely to carry on offspring. And so if there is positive
okay, so you're talking
they're
specifically about
more
directional selection and that it increases reproductive fitness, but are there like geographical barriers? Is it like a pre or post zygotic barrier that might cause the gene pool to look different in the next generation?
I don't know. I don't know what you mean by pre or post zygotic.
That's fair. No, can you tell me more about what evolution is?
I mean, okay, I'm sure you know more about microbiology than I do. I think that you should be able to agree then there's at least a eukaryote that is the ancestor of every other eukaryote. That seems very clearly implied by evolution.
When we talk about universal common descent, it's likely that the very first form of life on Earth was prokaryotic, or even just like a form, like a proto-prokaryotic cell, likely with RNA rather than DNA. So yeah, I would say it would not be eukaryotic because it likely wouldn't have had membrane-bound organelles or like a centralized nucleus.
Okay. But then, so it mutated and then formed a eukaryote, and then, or maybe was it like something consumed it to create a eukaryote?
Well, that's not quite it. So there is endosymbiosis, which would be in which like a prokaryotic cell engulfed cyanobacteria, and that cyanobacteria began functioning as a mitochondria for that prokaryotic cell. But it's likely that there were many, many generations of prokaryotic ancestors before we got to eukaryotic.
Yes, and so the claim I'm making is we get to eukaryotic cells, and then every other eukaryote comes from the first eukaryotic cell that gets created. Like they are all like they're all descendants from the first prokaryote, and they're all descendants from the first eukaryote.
But they're not all necessarily descended from the first eukaryotic cells. They would be from that very first single-celled simple ancestor, but not from the first eukaryotic necessarily, because again there was multiple generations. So the prokaryotic cells likely would have reproduced via mitosis rather than meiosis. So they would have just duplicated essentially. So there would have been many, many, many of those prokaryotes that could have mutated, and their offspring could have been eukaryotic.
So you believe that there was multiple independent mutations to create eukaryotes? Like that there isn't a single eukaryote that is the ancestor of all other eukaryotes?
Yeah, I think it's perfectly reasonable.
Do you think there's evidence for this? Are you just saying it could have happened this way? Are you saying
I think it's reasonable that it happened that way? In fact, I think it is very reasonable, more reasonable than there only being a single eukaryote, because how would that cell have reproduced? Like if we got to the point where there was only one sexually reproducing specimen, how would it have reproduced? So it follows by that there had to have been more than one sexually reproducing organism that arose at the same time.
Here's
Let's talk about like parthenogenesis, but we have no evidence to believe that developed before sexual dimorphism or anisogamous species.
Yeah, my guess is there would be a species. I mean, so like sexual reproduction has to evolve iteratively. All things that evolution creates evolves iteratively. So my guess is you had a species that was asexually reproducing, but then it developed some simplistic way to share genetic information between sexually reproducing individuals, and that became more and more complex until sexual reproduction.
Sounds like you're just talking about horizontal gene transfer, but that's what bacteria use.
You're gonna have to break down some of this vocabulary for me. I haven't.
Yeah.
You're hitting me with the jargon.
So horizontal gene transfer, and I am going a little bit hard on it since you were a little bit patronizing about whether or not I knew anything about evolution.
Well, you asked me to explain evolution.
Yeah, very sarcastically. My degree is biological science with a concentration in organismal evolution.
Okay, I do not know your degree. This is my real name. I know you as robotgoat. I don't know anything about you.
And how do you know that robotgoat's not my legal name? My parents hated me.
You have rational parents. Say that again.
No, they hated me. I came out of the womb and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna fuck this one up." Yeah, so when I'm talking about horizontal gene transfer, it's this kind of special little talent that bacteria have. They can literally just ditch parts of their DNA, and they can also take in new DNA. Sometimes they do it as a defense mechanism. So, for instance, I've done this in a lab setting. Certain types of bacteria, you literally shock them, and as a defense mechanism, they take in new DNA from the environment around them. So you can transform bacteria that way. You can get them to take in specific genetic information that you want them to have. Like, for instance, usually you don't want this to happen, but you can make them resistant to certain antibiotics by putting them under this stress and having them take in that genetic information that gives them that antibiotic resistance. So basically that gene transfer is just going to be a way that bacteria are sharing genetic information with each other. So it happens between the bacteria themselves, not in the production of like some offspring bacteria.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so if imagine if like I could just give you the part of my genome that gives me blue eyes and just like bestow it on you. We can't do that. Bacteria can.
Yeah, no, I think that's fascinating.
But that's kind of what it sounded like you were describing, a way to share genetic information that wasn't technically sexual reproduction.
Well, so the question was that I was trying to respond to was, how could we have evolved sexual reproduction? Because I do think organisms started with asexual reproduction, and I think you were suggesting there were two organisms that individually developed, and they were somehow sexually compatible with each other.
Yeah, I would say it's probably more than two. So I can tell you, as far as sexual reproduction, the best way I can describe it is like the benefits of sexual reproduction, why it would have developed. The primary thing is going to be the genetic diversity, because imagine, for example, you have an entire population of, we'll say, I'll use bacteria again. So you have this big old colony of bacteria, and none of them are resistant to antibiotics, and then they encounter an antibiotic. That entire population is going to be wiped out because they all have roughly the same DNA. Fuck that up a little bit. If they were sexually reproducing and their genes kind of intermingled and changed and their offspring were not genetically identical to the parents, well then maybe some of those offspring bacteria would be resistant to the antibiotic. So if that antibiotic comes along, not all the population is going to get wiped out. So sexual reproduction, even though it is more of a risk as far as the amount of like energy it requires, especially for those who have to carry and deliver the young, Oh, my friend Mezzo's offering to help you if you need help understanding sexual reproduction. He has some tapes that you can watch.
No, thank you.
But it increases genetic diversity, which makes it more likely that the species would survive some sort of threat.
Gotcha.
That's not necessarily a good explanation of like the mechanisms, but I feel like I'm just doing a biology class now, which is not really what people are here to see.
I can get back on topic. Can I just like apologize that I came off as patronizing? I really thought that you were asking for an explanation, and
I appreciate that.
Being sarcastic.
I do have a very deadpan delivery. It's just I get a lot of people, and they are typically men, who assume I know a lot less than I do.
I apologize for trying to mansplain you, but I do think there's a real point here that the university that you go to, and even the idea of a public university that anybody can go to learn, that is a Christian innovation. That comes from Christian countries exclusively. There is no other country or there is no other culture that produced a public institution of education. Please try to fact check me on this.
A public institution of education. So there's so like in Judaism they don't have any like educational institutions, is that?
So there were like I'm probably not going to use the right terminology, but there were definitely like places where you could, if you were a noble, you could like hire tutors.
Are there public schools in primarily Muslim countries now?
Yes, yeah. There are public schools in countries now. This is an export from Christian countries.
Export from Christian countries. So you think Christians were the first to have public education?
Yes. Yeah. Like the history of this is really surprising. Christians invented the public hospital too.
The earliest known formal school was developed in Egypt's Middle Kingdom.
Was it
around
public?
2000 BC?
Was it open to anybody?
Well, a school without students would be a bit useless.
Well, okay, but I'm saying it's one thing to say if you are a noble, if you are an aristocrat, if you have an extraordinary amount of money, then you can come here. It is a very different thing to say, if you are interested in learning, you can come here.
It says it was primarily sons of the rich and professionals like scribes, physicians, temple administrators. But it doesn't necessarily say that like it was a closed school.
Yes, and so like I'm talking about a school that the institution pays for, that is either supported by the government or by the church.
You're really narrowing this down here. So it started with that public education at all is a Christian thing exclusively, and then it was the modern ones.
I don't think I ever said
is an export.
Public education. I think you're misrepresenting me. My claim was the institution of a university. I don't mean higher education. I don't mean school of philosophy. I mean like specifically.
You specify more than university, because I wouldn't have looked up just like formal schools if you'd said university specifically, but also like how does this matter to the topic?
Well, because the university was deeply impactful in scientific advancements, and in fact all of the key scientific advancements to have what we understand as modern science, like the scientific method itself, like peer review, like publishing your work publicly, these all come from Christian countries too.
Publishing your work publicly comes from Christian countries?
Yes. Prior to the advent of the scientific revolution, there was like, Leonardo da Vinci encoded all his work. This was the norm. You would hide everything that you worked because it was your like pride and joy, and you would have these secrets, like the very educated people would have secrets that it was like they would essentially sell them. The idea of you work your whole life to advance knowledge and you just publish it openly, that is a Christian concept as well.
Like, sorry, I was looking at the oldest university. This is continually operating. So there's no way I'm going to be able to pronounce it, but this says that the first and oldest university is in Morocco.
My understanding is when that opened, that was just a mosque. It was not a university when it opened. Feel free to fact check me.
It does say it was originally a mosque, but it says it grew into a leading educational center during the Islamic Golden Age.
What period does it say for that? And I still think even then, that is a system for the aristocrats.
The Islamic Golden Age was from about 600 to 1200 AD.
Yes, I think that the universities that we understand today, particularly
Second oldest in Cairo. Yeah, this is the first one I'm seeing that's matching. So we got Bologna.
Yes, that's a Christian university.
Yeah, that was established in 1088, which would make it the third oldest.
I don't think the other twos actually match the criteria that we would associate with a modern university. So it's like
okay, so you're narrowing it again to saying, oh, well, sure, maybe it wasn't the first university, but it's the first university of this specific definition of university. So we went from,
okay, the kind of university you get your degree from. How about that?
Well, the kind of university I got my degree from was a real liberal school where they taught the woke mind virus. Get in your head.
You got a master's degree? You got a doctorate?
No, I just did undergrad. I have a lowly bachelor's.
Yes.
But yeah, we went from public education to
the bachelor's degree was
free
invented
public
by
education
Christians.
to free university to a specific type of free university.
The system of graded credentialing, bachelor's, master's, doctors, where you get a degree, and that degree, it works anywhere. Everybody recognizes that degree.
You've reduced your argument so much it means nothing.
Anywhere. I feel like you have very little appreciation for how much science has exploded as a result of this. Like, all of the innovations that we have for modern science, like peer review, like the actual scientific method, come from Christian areas only after they were Christianized.
Christianized. Ooh, that's a fun word. That's just... What do you mean by Christianized?
I mean, the gospel was spread to them.
What do you actually mean?
I mean, I tell you what I meant.
What did that usually look like?
So that's a process of evangelization, where you tell somebody the good news,
and so they all just very willingly were like, "Oh, we all believe in Jesus now. We're gonna give up our culture, and we're gonna give our land over to you guys without any sort of fight, and you're gonna treat us fairly." That's how it happened.
I mean, like, so
I just want to clarify that you're advocating for colonization.
I'm certainly advocating for spreading of the gospel.
Yeah, but I just want to clarify if you're advocating for colonization.
No, I'm probably against colonialization.
Probably against probably against colonizing. Hell yeah! You know what? I got a soundboard here. Do I have a soundboard cue for that? Let's go with
This seems very off topic.
Probably against colonizing. It's just you're talking about how great Christianity is and how much better areas became once they were Christianized. That's
okay. How about
great.
this? I mean, would you agree there's some cultural innovations we should want spread across the whole world?
Some cultural innovations. You have to clarify what you mean by cultural innovations.
Here, more than that, I can give you a specific example.
Oh,
how about
goody.
The idea of human rights? The idea that just because you are a human, that you are endowed certain rights, and that the government has no ability to take that away from you. That is also a Christian innovation. The idea that men and women are both equal in dignity, that people across the border are equal in dignity, that is a Christian innovation.
You think Christianity teaches that men and women are of equal dignity?
I think Christians are the ones that had that cultural innovation. Absolutely.
Oh, so Christianity doesn't. The people just interpret it that way.
Well, I mean, I'm saying the Christians of that time gave us feminism, gave us civil rights, gave us civil liberties, and I think they understood Christianity better than you, a non-Christian.
Well, I was a Christian. I'm a former Christian, and I think I started to understand Christianity a little too well, and that's why I'm no longer Christian.
Yes, and I think the people who were Christian their whole lives had a deeper understanding of it than you.
Interesting. So,
yeah, I mean, I
even
think
if
the people who gave us civil rights had a very clear understanding of Christianity.
People who gave us civil rights had a very clear understanding of Christianity. Let me just see. Yeah, so what religion did Malcolm X practice?
He was Nation of Islam.
Interesting.
I don't think Malcolm X gave us civil rights. I would trace that back to the Enlightenment. I would trace that back to the.
Well,
I mean, in America, that's the
when you talk about civil rights, most people's mind are going to contextualize it to mean the civil rights movement of the 1960s in the United States.
Oh, okay. I can be more specific. Literally before the Enlightenment, the idea was that people are not equal. The idea is that the aristocrats and the powerful people in society...
And what did the Enlightenment... What was the idea of the Enlightenment?
The Enlightenment happened in a Christian country. The Enlightenment was a product of Christian culture.
Julian, you're making it really hard to keep a straight face right now.
Do you is there an argument you want to give here, or is it just an argument from silence?
It's the fact that the Enlightenment was rejecting Christian ideals and doctrines. So saying it arose from that is very funny.
Well, I mean, I certainly think there's ways that the
it's like saying that abolition arose from slave traders because there had to be slave traders for them to want to end slavery.
Well, I mean, the abolitionism certainly arose largely from Christianity.
No, Haiti. It was from Enlightenment ideals.
No. William Wilberforce was not motivated by Enlightenment ideals directly. William Wilberforce was motivated by biblical
ideals. And you think he was the first? We can just forget Haiti.
I'm not going to say first. Say again?
We can just forget Haiti. Oh, just like the country.
I mean, Haiti was a very small slave abolishment. William Wilberforce, I believe, was single-handedly responsible.
It wasn't a big enough slave abolition to be considered the first one. Or is it just maybe because it wasn't the white people doing it?
I mean, my understanding is that whenever Haiti abolished slavery, they had it again within like 50 years.
After what happened?
Tell me.
Christian colonization.
I still think I would say those Christians were wrong. They were understanding things incorrectly, but the Christians that were right, the Christians that won, were like I think all of the most influential people in abolition were Christians. I would talk about William Wilberforce. I would talk about Granville Sharp. I would talk about Thomas Clarkson. I would talk about John Brown.
But it came from like a Christian culture, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yeah. The abolition of slavery came from a Christian culture.
No, slavery.
No. Slavery is a universal institution. So slavery happened for all people, for all time, for all of human history.
For all time? It's even before there were civilizations?
Yes. I don't think we've ever found a prehistoric culture that didn't, that we can see that didn't practice slavery.
If there were a culture, then wouldn't that be part of a civilization?
No, I think you can have culture without civilization. We could define terms, but I mean, I think the point is that whenever, like in 1807, Britain didn't just stop its own slave trade. William Wilberforce essentially ensured that laws were passed so that they deployed the Royal Navy for half of a century to stop the trade globally. Right? They seized like more than almost 2,000 ships, freeing hundreds of thousands of African slaves at substantial cost to Britain.
When Haiti ended slavery.
Yes, for a small period of time, and I still think that that's a good thing. Britain ended it for the world, and they ended it for the world because William Wilberforce was highly influenced by his faith to free people, because he understood the dignity of all human people, because the Bible says we are all created in the image of God.
In 1825, France sent an armada to Haiti and threatened to blockade the country, preventing trade unless Boyer agreed to pay France 150 million francs to reimburse for the loss of its property, mostly slaves. In exchange, France would recognize Haiti as an independent nation, which it had thus far refused to do. Interesting. So, like, in 1825, Haiti was stopping slave ships in its waters. And then France was like, hey, you can't do that. You can't free our slaves. Reimburse us for our slaves. Wait. I'm just confused because I thought you said that it was the Christians who ended slavery in Europe after like 1807, was it?
So my claim was after 1807, Britain went to great lengths to stop the slave trade globally, including across all of Africa, and Britain pressured other countries to do the same. They were not universally successful, but because of their Christian ideals, they spent an enormous amount of money and manpower to stop the slave trade globally.
Gotcha. Christian ideals. So you would say Christian ideals are against slavery?
Of course, yeah.
Interesting. Can you give me the verse for that?
I mean, I don't have the number off, but I would say man and women, male and female, he created them. In his image, he created them. Both men and women are created in the image of God, and that applies to all people. And I think you cannot enslave the image of God.
Where did it say slave anywhere in what you just quoted to me?
Well, I mean, slaves are men and women, and slaves are in the image of God as a result.
Yeah, but like God never said they couldn't have slaves. In fact, God gave them instructions on having slaves. So obviously God was okay with them enslaving those made in his image. So in which verse is the Christian doctrine against slavery?
I mean, I am going to give a very similar argument that I gave last time. It's an argument of progressive revelation. It's an argument of God making his law clear,
okay, so show me the progress.
People who have a hardened heart over time.
Show me the progress. Where did God tell them to stop enslaving people? If it's progressive, there should have been progress.
I think we can just skip to the end of this and say, I think William Wilberforce had a better interpretation of the Bible than you do. And when he read the Bible, he absolutely saw that it was necessary for Christians to abolish the slave trade. He saw that it was untenable for us to continue slavery. He thought slavery was a damnable sight, a damnable sin against creatures made in God's
Slaves, obey your
image.
earthly masters with respect and trembling and singleness of heart, as you obey Christ. Not with a slavery performed merely for looks to please people, but as slaves of Christ, doing the will of God from the soul. Render service with enthusiasm, as for the Lord and not for humans. Knowing whatever good we do, we will receive the same again from the Lord, whether we are enslaved or free.
The word of the God for people. God. Thanks be to God.
That's Ephesians 6:5. Thanks, meat sauce. I don't know if I'm allowed to call you that. I'm going to call you mezzanine. Yeah, the next verse does say, and masters do the same to them, stop threatening them, for you know that both of you have the same Lord in heaven, and with him there is no partiality. So, stop threatening your slaves. Does it say to get rid of the slaves, or that you can't have slaves?
Yeah, I do. I never said that it says that. I never said it says either of those things.
But you said that Christianity was clearly against slavery. So which verse is it clearly condemning slavery?
So I think Christianity is not a book. Christianity is a church.
Where does Christianity get its information from?
So in my tradition, we have an understanding that our theology comes from 4 places. It comes from Scripture, from tradition, from reason, and from experience. And I think very clearly I actually think all 4 of those testify that
slavery was a tradition.
Is untenable. Yes, it is. It is no longer a tradition. My tradition
was a tradition.
Is abolition. Okay.
So you get to decide what your tradition is. How do you know what a good tradition is if you're just accepting because it's tradition?
So my church, the Methodist Church, was started by a man named John Wesley. John Wesley was an abolitionist. So my church has always been abolitionist.
I ask again, how do you know which tradition is right?
By reason and experience.
Okay, so it's not actually tradition, it's by reason.
No. You like what I'm saying is,
if you're going by reason and experience outside of the Bible because it's not said in the Bible, then you're not actually getting that from Christianity. You're getting it from yourself.
No, I think you have a very poor understanding of what Christianity is. You're trying to say we can only have one single document, and that one single document has to define every single. No, because you're saying I have to find these specific verses that say what you want them to say in the Bible. And I'm saying our theology is much broader than that. It comes from much more than just the Bible. And one of the things it comes from is the tradition of abolition of William Wilberforce.
But here, Julian,
John Brown.
If you're getting the idea that slavery is unacceptable, not from the Bible, but from other people, then you're not getting it from Christianity. You're getting it from those people.
Okay, but what if those people are Christians? What if those people are the church? What if that is the Christian tradition that brought me up, that taught me?
Then it's still not the teachings of Christianity.
Okay, then why are all of the people that were the most responsible for freeing the most people Christians?
Because they were probably in the countries where most people were enslaved.
So why did William Wilberforce, in the laws that he passed, he made sure that the British Empire went to great lengths to free not only the people in their empire, but in everywhere across the world? And why did he say, because he wrote pamphlets on why he was doing it, and in the pamphlets he said, I'm doing this because of my faith. I'm doing this because these are people made in the image of God, and it is a terrible sin that we are doing these to these people. He explicitly made it about his Christian faith. But
there were also Christians who distributed slave Bibles.
And those Christians were wrong. Those Christians.
How can you say that if the text doesn't say either way?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I can say it because I have the Holy Spirit in me, and I understand what love is.
Okay, that's what it comes down to. You understand what love is. That maybe.
Yes.
But that's not because of God. That's because of you.
Yeah, I mean, I would disagree, but you clearly have a different metaphysic than me. I'm not going to convince you that God is love if you don't already believe it.
Okay. Well, Julian, I think I'm going to go ahead and let you go and bring up the next person in queue.
It was a pleasure talking with you, Robot Goat. Have a good night.
All right, see ya. Zoinks, Scoob. Lobes, I see you. Give me just a sec. Hello, hello. Can I get your name, age, and pronouns, please?
40. Ben, he, him.
All right. I've talked to you before, haven't I?
I don't remember talking to you.
I feel like I remember that directness. Or maybe it's just a lot of men are just like, one syllable name. 40. He, him. I swear I have. That's too familiar. We'll see. We'll see if your argument's familiar.
I don't remember talking to you, but maybe, yeah.
I have a very non-memorable face. My own mother wouldn't recognize me if she looked at me. And I saw her the other day.
You got a memorable face.
Prove it. What do I look like?
A redhead. Red hair.
Well, that's not my
white
face.
girl. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. So, what's your religion or lack thereof?
I lack the belief in atheism. I'm a Christian.
Thank you. That was a very confusing answer, Ben. So why do Christians deny science?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right. Next up. Hey, how's it going?
I think that was a good move. Yeah, he's a little notorious on this app, infamous, I would even say.
I could see the reaction in chat.
Yeah, what I wanted to say about the previous guy who was talking about slavery and how it's Christianity is against slavery. That one always bewilders me because the argument is that Christians abolished slavery, and whether that's true or not, if I just grant that it's true, or if we say that that's fine, you can still just ask them, well, what was it that made them abolish slavery? Like, where are they getting this idea from? They were reading the Bible
Holy
or
Spirit.
something? Right, the Holy Spirit. Yeah, the Holy Spirit. I mean, I have more evidence of the Holy Spirit, and so do you, than most of the Christians.
Oh my
on
gosh,
this app.
B is back in chat? B, is that you? Oh wow, it's like so good to see you again. Sorry, just an old friend. So yeah, that was really interesting. The whole just like, yeah, these areas got better once they were Christianized. That's not good. Are you gonna be going live again tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm going live tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday.
But tomorrow night, do you have any guests lined up that I might know? I forgot to ask Joshua if you guys were streaming together again.
Well, the past couple Wednesdays it's been Joshua. I don't know if I confirm with him or not tomorrow night. He's welcome, / you're welcome, or whoever. I think that I've kind of like soft got him on Wednesdays.
I think so too. But I've got him hard Wednesdays. I would usually be asleep by the time that you guys start streaming. I should not be up this late, in fact. Hey, Dalton.
It is a late night for you, isn't it?
It is, but my sleep schedule's been fucked up lately, and it's been a pretty good stream so far, so I don't want to kill that momentum, you know?
No, we don't want it.
No. I like my momentum alive.
Your momentum is not an Amalekite child. It does not deserve to be brutalized in a way of just cutting it short.
Damn. That was a good one. I like that.
I think I saw somebody's username one time that was like angry Amalekite child or something like that, or pissed Amalekite child. But yeah, I don't know if I've actually confirmed with him, but if he wants to come back up, then he is absolutely welcome.
Sweet. I'll ask him. I guess that means we have to talk to him at some point. Blech. I do have someone in my request. I don't know if they are a friendly or not. I know I do see one person who I know is a friendly, but one I'm not sure. You cool if I let him up?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, well. Yeah, can you hear me good?
Yeah, you kind of hitting your mic a little bit. Can I get your name, age, and pronouns?
You can just call me Aura Locketer, 22 AM.
Alright. It's gonna go off the edge of the name badge a little bit. Why can't I fucking type? What's your religion or lack thereof?
Christian.
Ah, so why do Christians deny science?
I don't think that, I think there's a lot of Christians that don't deny science.
Interesting. So let's see if you're one of them. How old's the Earth?
It was like 4 point something billion, or is it 13 billion? I'm not sure.
Good start. So 13 billion is more like the current state of the universe.
Oh, the Earth or the universe?
Yeah. So either first one was roughly correct for the Earth. Second one roughly correct for the current state of our universe. Were Adam and Eve literal people?
Were they literal people? I don't know.
You don't know. Interesting. Did the flood happen as described in Genesis?
I would say there was probably like a regional flood, maybe.
A regional flood, but not the way it's described in Genesis.
I think it's described as a regional flood.
You think it's described as regional, even though it says that
it's hyperbolic, but also
it says every creature on Earth died and that the water was above the highest peaks of the mountains, but it was regional?
Yeah, because it talks about how I think the water was going down or something. They were stopped at a Mount Area. Is that right? They were stopped at Mount Area, and then it says after that, then the water went down, and then the peaks of the mountains were shown, but they were already like on a mountain.
So you don't think they could have just been like in the area of the mountain?
No, they were pretty sure they were like on it. And
Where
I know
does it
that
say
it's
that?
like here, let me pull it up.
Like before the water went down, they were on Ararat because they sent the bird out to search for dry land.
Hold on. What chapter is it? Genesis 6.
B, where did the stars come from? Where did the stars? Did God hang them in the sky, B? Is that where the stars came from? Is that where they came from? I just need everybody in chat. We have someone, don't tag because I don't want to overwhelm or harass, but they're just wondering where the stars came from. So I need everybody to give their best answer for where the stars came from. Again, we're not tagging or harassing. I just want everyone to give me their best explanation for where the stars came from.
Okay, yeah.
I should have expected all the fucking magnets. Fuck you guys.
Genesis 8. Sorry.
No, it's
like
fine.
Genesis 8:2-4, it says the fountains of the deep and the windows of the heaven were closed. The rain from the heavens were restrained, and the waters receded from the earth continually. And at the end of the 150 days, the waters had abated. In the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat.
Yeah, so it was after the water went down.
No, but verse 5 it says, and the waters continued to abate until the 10th month. On the first day of the month, the tops of the mountains were seen. So I'm not sure if it was like global, then the tops of the mountains would have already been seen if Ararat had been flooded.
So if Ararat was the tallest around, and they came to rest on that one first, then the waters continue to abate, which by the way is where that much water go. Yeah, it seems like the water was receding already. I think your mom's at the door. You still there?
But yeah, sorry. No. The point is that they were on the mountain
after the water started to recede.
Well, yeah, but okay. If it says the tops of the mountains were seen after they were already on a mountain, that wouldn't make sense. If it was global.
If it were the other mountains, then it would.
How? Well, no, it doesn't really say that though. It just says then the mountains were seen.
Right. So if they were on the mountain, were seen. And then they see the tops of the mountains.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
What do you mean? Because the reason, okay.
If they were on the mountain, but all of the mountains were covered, then they wouldn't have landed on the top of the mountain.
That's the point. Not all the mountains were covered.
It says that they were the fucking.
That's just hyperbolic. Like you could literally just interpret that to be hyperbolic.
Well, sure you can if it's convenient for you.
Well, yeah.
Do you think the entire story is hyperbolic?
The entire story?
Yeah, I mean,
when you say, are you talking about like every single
doubles down, triples down, and
every
stuff.
fact within the story?
Like the whole Bible. I mean, the Noah thing.
Genesis 7.
I'm not sure if every story within it's
Genesis 7, starting in verse 19. The water swelled so mightily on the earth that all the high mountains under the whole heaven were covered. The waters swelled above the mountains, covering them 15 cubits deep, and all flesh died that moved on the earth. Birds, domestic animals, wild animals, and all swarming creatures that swarm on the earth, and all human beings. Everything on dry land, in whose nostrils was the breath of life, died. He blotted out every living thing that was on the face of the ground, human beings and animals, and creeping things, and birds of the air. They were blotted out from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those with him in the ark. So like six different times it says, yeah, we mean everything.
Like I said, I could just interpret it hyperbolic. And even if it's the case that like the text isn't like making hyperbolic claims, that wouldn't really matter because it's still going to be the case that I'm not denying science just because of my interpretation. Even if that interpretation's like wrong.
If it's a regional flood, then how could the local mountains be submerged in water?
Because they're a part of that region.
It would have dispersed from the region if it was... Like, the water wouldn't have remained concentrated like that enough to cover mountains.
Unless there was like a force field or something, like a dome.
Oh, it's like an under the dome sort of sitch. Yeah!
Well, okay. Are you saying that, yeah, it probably was just in that region and it got to the tops of the mountain? I don't know what you mean. Are you saying that's like not possible?
There could have been like a big bowl, like the geography could have been like a big, large bowl surrounding the mountains at that time. And
I mean, yeah, that could be the case.
It's like, okay, so you know how every household has that one big bowl that like it doubles for popcorn and puking in?
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, the pop puke.
Not at the same time. God took that from his kitchen cabinet and just...
I mean... I don't think that's what it's saying, but...
You don't think it was the popcorn puke bowl? I think it says it pretty clearly here in Genesis 7.
Like, and the water could have dispersed on the other side of the mountain. Like, that's possible, too. That probably is what happened if that is the... Like, if my interpretation is the case. But
yeah,
again,
your interpretation is just, what this says is not right.
That's not my interpretation. Just because using figurative, saying that something is like figurative doesn't mean that it's wrong. Like if I say it's raining cats and dogs, you're saying that's a false, like is that like some sort of false statement?
If I say, like say there's a box of donuts with 6 donuts in it, and I'm like, I ate every single one of those donuts. Yeah, all 6 of them. All 6 of those donuts, I consumed every single one of them until there were no donuts left in the box. Each individual donut I devoured and made sure it was eaten.
Well, at that
how many
point,
donuts would that mean that I ate?
I'm not sure how that's hyperbolic.
If because it's just like a says...
A better example would be if there's like a whole like tub of donuts and you said, dang, I ate like all of those donuts. And then,
well, yeah, except it didn't just say like, oh yeah, he killed everything. It specifies all flesh that died, birds, domestic animals, wild animals, all swarming creatures, all human beings, everything on dry land, blotted out, every living thing that was on the face of the earth. They were all blotted from the earth. Only Noah was left. There's so many times where it reiterates
and I think
that it was
that could be
everything.
Hyperbolic. I think it is hyperbolic.
That's
how do you feel
ridiculous.
about? How do you feel about? You said you weren't sure about. You said you weren't sure about Adam and Eve being literal. But what about the repopulation from Noah's children?
Yeah, this is just like a red herring.
Do you believe that the children repopulating the earth from Noah is true, or do you think that's also hyperbole?
No, hold on. If I think it's a regional flood, why would I think that Noah repopulated the entire earth?
What was the point of the story?
The point of the story?
Yeah,
I mean, I'd honestly have to like research more, but I would say that the hyperbole, maybe just like demonstrate that God. I would say the likely case is just to demonstrate, like, you know, and to exaggerate sort of the power of God, to show to the people that, you know, God is powerful and that He will punish you for doing these wrong actions.
Yeah, but the whole thing was so. The whole point was that only Noah and his family were found to be the righteous people on earth. Everyone else on earth was said to be unrighteous. Some people say it's because of, you know, Nephilim being on the earth. Like, that's the version that I was taught. But the whole point was that only Noah's family was found to be righteous, so God had to wipe out everybody else.
But that doesn't, you're not like really contending with the point that it's hyperbolic. You're just saying that.
What would be the point if he didn't actually get rid of everybody?
No, it's not hyperbolic because, huh?
Here's the
you have to give me
evidence that it you have to give me evidence that it doesn't actually intend what it says.
I don't. Okay, first of all, I wouldn't need to.
You're claiming it's hyperbolic.
I deny science. Even if it's the case that my interpretation's false, I'm not denying science.
The relevant claim here is you're saying this is hyperbolic language. I'm asking you to give me a reason why I should believe that.
Why? Okay, that's just not really relevant to the conversation, because the point is
then I don't believe it's hyperbolic.
Okay, that's fine, but that wouldn't mean that I deny science.
Okay.
So then how do I deny science? Or do you think I don't?
You do.
Okay.
You have spent this whole time doing it.
What science have I denied?
So, the idea of there being this flood, the way that it is written, it is described as a worldwide flood. You're trying to say, oh, that was actually hyperbolic.
And how's that denying science? Wouldn't that actually be the quite opposite? Wouldn't that be more like being in alignment with science and kind of basing my interpretation off of like science?
Well, here's the discrepancy. The biblical account says it's worldwide.
But again, if I interpret it to be hyperbolic, then I wouldn't.
It's not interpretation.
Science.
You're rewriting what it says.
Even know what interpretation means. It just means how you take a word, like take things to mean.
If I read something that says,
explain stuff.
If I a box of donuts, if I read something that says, I ate every single donut in this box, each individual one I made sure was eaten. Yes, I mean it. I ate every single donut. No, really, each donut I consumed every single one of them. And then you're like, it's probably
that's
hyperbole.
Not analogous, because it's not saying, God doesn't say no. The Bible doesn't say like, no, I literally destroyed, the whole entire earth. It does not say.
So when it says all flesh died that moved on the earth,
that's different.
Birds, domestic animals, wild animals, all swarming creatures that swarm the earth, and all human beings, everything on dry land, every living thing,
than using the word,
human beings, animals, creeping things, birds, they were blotted out. Only Noah was left.
That's different than using the words literally in your sentence. When you say it was, I literally ate them all.
It says all over and over and over and over.
That doesn't mean that
if
it's
it
not
meant
hyperbolic.
Most or many of, it wouldn't say every single.
What's the argument for that?
What's the argument that all means all?
What's the argument that if you're using hyperbolic language, you
My argument is all means all.
I agree, but do you know how figurative language works?
No, I never heard of a figurative
not all language is literal. You realize there's different types of language. Not all language is literal, and you're assuming the interpretation is literal.
¿Otras idiomas? No te entiendo.
You're assuming it. What? Yeah, you're assuming it's literal, right? So if it were the case that it were literal, then yeah, you'd have a point. But you have to demonstrate that it is. And also, this is irrelevant, like I said, because I don't interpret it this way. And even if my interpretation is wrong, like I said, I wouldn't be denying science.
The reason why I would say that you're still denying science, even if you think it's hyperbolic, is because the first thing that you said up here was maybe it was a regional flood, meaning that you think that this flood is actually even possible as a regional flood. But the way that it's described, it does read...
What natural law does it violate?
Well, the water cannot completely submerge the mountains.
According to what natural law? According to what natural law?
According
surface
to gravity.
tension, gravity.
Can you prove that?
Can we prove gravity? You got
Can we prove that
That's not what
gravity
I'm saying. I'm saying, can you prove that gravity would make this impossible?
So if you pour water, what happens to it?
Well, a question's not like going to be evidence.
Well, I'm leading you down like a line of reasoning here. If you just like pour water onto something, if you like pour water onto a basketball, is it gonna beat up and clump together and just like stay there? And if you keep pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring, is it gonna just swell up to be this big bubble of water sitting on top of the basketball, or what's gonna happen to it?
Well, I mean, if the ball was like Earth, where it has like, the atmosphere and all the gravity, whatever, then yeah, the water would probably like swell around the ball. That's why the ocean doesn't just like fall into outer space.
Place on Earth, correct?
Right. So why is the ocean?
Hold on, gravity's the reason the ocean's not like falling, or the water. Yeah, the ocean's not falling into space.
Yeah, but why is the ocean low? Why is the ocean not covering the mountains?
Because there's not enough water. Tectonic plates.
So you think just that there's not enough water? Because the Mariana Trench...
The tectonic plates come together. The tectonic plates come together, and the one...
The Mariana Trench is 36,000 feet deep.
And it's filled with water.
Yeah, so it's deeper than Everest is tall and full of water.
That doesn't... Yeah, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean there's enough water to like fill the entire Earth. Maybe if you were to take all the water in the clouds,
so there's
and
not
like
enough water.
Maybe if you were to take all of the water that's in the water cycle and put it onto the Earth at once.
There's not enough water to fill the Earth.
Yeah, sure. Then I would say there might be enough. I'm not sure.
It's not
I don't think
close.
there is.
It would raise by about an inch.
Yeah, so there's not enough water to fill the Earth. That's why they're not covering all the mountains.
Mm-hmm. And the water wouldn't stay localized.
So it's not covering all the mountains. So when it says that the water swelled so mightily that all the high mountains over the whole heaven were covered, the water swelled above the mountains, covering them 15 cubits deep?
Are you asking if the mountains were covered?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I could say they were at one point.
So the mountains were covered in water. But there's not enough water to cover the mountains.
I'm talking about currently, there's not enough water to cover all of the mountains on there.
Then where do you think
That's what I'm
the
saying.
water went?
Oh, there's many like explanations. One, God could have gotten rid of it, or two, it could be within the water now. There could have been like a lot less water back then, and now there's more, but I'm not sure.
So somebody who is an approver of science wouldn't say God must have gotten rid of the water. That wouldn't be a candidate explanation because there isn't any evidence of that.
Sorry, B in the chat, you don't understand what the water cycle is, and I love that for you.
Hold on. What load? So in order to affirm science, I can't affirm like miracles. Is that what you're saying?
Well, personally, I wouldn't say so, but I wouldn't posit God must have gotten rid of the water when there's no evidence of God getting rid of the water.
I wouldn't need to. It's just going to be like a hypothesis that I have.
Okay, well, if you're asserting...
hypothesis still needs evidence.
Yeah.
Oh, evidence for what? To be true?
A hypothesis needs evidence. If it has no evidence, it's a stab in the dark. It's a guess.
It's a guess.
Like a hypothesis is going to be formulated based off of...
Even if it is a guess, that's not an issue.
It's going to be based off of available information. So like when you're trying to form a hypothesis, it's going to be based off of Oh my goodness, I'm getting things on YouTube. Hold on.
But hold on. Even if it's a guess, that's not really an issue. Because the point is that I can just I can like interpret it in ways to which wouldn't like violate science.
This is just, you know, I think this
because you haven't demonstrated
enough...
how I violate science.
Hold on, I think we're just gonna. Words don't mean words. All doesn't mean all.
That's not what I said.
You're just being hyperbolic.
If it's figurative in the meaning, it would have a meaning, but the meaning wouldn't be.
Shut the fuck up. No one wants to hear you during the song.
But do you have an argument that is literal, though? Do you like have an argument for that?
So, when we're talking about the meaning of a text, and you're saying that the text doesn't mean what the words say,
nope.
The burden would be on you that it doesn't mean what the words say.
Except that's not what I'm saying. So I don't have that burden.
You are. You're asking me to show.
I don't think you're tracking.
You're asking me
that's a straw man
show. Okay, so you don't believe that it was hyperbolic.
Hold on. Do you think that do you think meanings of words are objective?
So you don't think that it was hyperbolic?
I do think it's hyperbolic. That doesn't mean I don't think the word means.
Does hyperbolic mean literal interpretation?
Literal. When you say do you know what literal words mean?
Do I know what literal words mean?
Like the colloquial usage of the word, right? That doesn't mean
colloquial usage.
If it's the case, hold on. If it's the case, I say it's like raining cats and dogs. That phrase right there, it has a meaning, right? The meaning is just going to be determined by the intention.
Yeah.
Of the
so
speaker.
what's the idiom of blotting out every living thing that was on the face of the ground?
I don't mean that, you know.
Aurora Cloud, what if I were to say it's raining cats and dogs?
I just mean that it's raining really fast.
I'm getting too tired for this loser.
So
I'm getting really tired of this loser. I'm sorry. Aura, this is ridiculous.
Understand my philosophy of language at all.
No, your philosophy of language is anything that I can't defend, I'm going to say is figurative language. And that's bullshit. And it's cowardly and you're a pussy. Get off my stream.
That's a straw man.
If I were to say it's raining cats and dogs.
It's a straw man that you're a pussy. Fuck off.
And the guts of the cats and dogs were splattered all over the ground, and people were getting allergic reactions from the cats and stuff, and the smell was terrible. I wouldn't expect that to be hyperbolic language or figurative language.
Okay, but can you prove that?
Sounds very literal. You got me. I was just making shit up.
Okay, what's the argument for that?
Oh man. I'm gonna have to put up with this later.
Go ahead.
Go ahead is crazy. They know that that's I think that there's a class to get under people's skin. You have to replace periods with go ahead, and that's what you do.
Yeah. Oh, I see someone in my guest requests. What are you doing here?
That was really interesting and fun to watch.
That sounded sarcastic. What the fuck?
That guy was so awful. I caught the end of that and just hearing him say over and over again, what's the argument for that? Over gravity exists and basic little things like that.
So you're saying it was awful? What's the argument for that? Go ahead.
Pettifogging is something I don't like.
A pettier fog.
What? But I said I don't like that. Hey, Lobes, how you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm chilling.
You guys, tomorrow night? You guys docking up? What? That's not the phrase.
That's really not the phrase.
Are we docking up?
Are you?
We're gonna. I lack the ability to do that particular thing.
Gotcha. You guys fencing?
Fencing's a good one.
Intellectually,
maybe we could just like talk or something on Lobes' stream, but I don't. That was just my idea.
That's all you wanted to do?
This is supposed to be the. So you know what happens after like in the dating scene, right? Not saying this is what it was, but in the dating scene, you got like this third date, and there's like a special magical thing that's supposed to happen by the third date. At least that's what I hear.
We don't know that we fucked before our first date.
Y'all are heathens.
Oh no! I dropped my Magnum condom for my monster dong.
I think he actually said the reverse.
I think you're right, actually.
I think
it's monster condom from Magnum dong.
Yeah. For that transgression, you have to leave.
What? Why would you do that to me?
Well, I'm actually just wrapping up stream. I do have a couple more people who've been here waiting for a while.
All right.
I know this person's a friendly, so not tonight, but thank you for the request. I do have someone who I think is an op, but if you're not, Javi, if you would go ahead and retract, because I just want to wrap it on up like my Magnum dong.
See you tomorrow night, Lopes. Bye, guys.
Hey, are you friendly or an op?
I am friendly.
Okay. Do you have a quick thing to say? Because I am wrapping up stream.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like inflammatory or anything. I don't want to be like that guy that you just debated. I just came across your stream, and I guess want to make the distinction between like I just like the normative claim that all Christians deny science, or I mean, I guess that's not like what you're saying, but I do think that most Christians can in large separate their scientific beliefs and separate that from their moral belief.
Most of the time, if you question a Christian, they are going to deny science. When I was a Christian, I was certainly taught science denial, as was everyone around me. Most of the major organizations that do deny science have a religious basis to them, and in the United States, that is largely Christian. So this is more meant to encourage discussion about why sometimes people's religious beliefs supersedes their rational and critical thinking skills.
I see. I mean, it's true in large. A lot of like, I guess, like Christian nationalists and like very far right Christians do believe in this. And I also grew up a Catholic, so I do believe that in some like certain things it's true. But I mean, do you believe that like that's true like throughout all of history, or just now?
Well, I would say from the beginning of Christianity, since they do believe in a resurrection, immediately that's going to be a problem.
I see. Well, how do you reconcile with the idea that most big scientists were actually Christians and believed in God? Like, I don't know, Gregor Mendel, right? He was a friar and he developed the law of genetics.
Yeah, there's many aspects of science that he was either ignorant to or denied. Mostly ignorant to, because he was such a pioneer in his field. We knew next to nothing about genetics prior to Mendel, specifically his experimentation with pea plants. Mendel didn't know what a genome was, what DNA was. So there wasn't really as much for him to deny because there was less education about those topics. Modern Christians don't have that excuse. We have such a bounty of information now that those who just choose not to investigate their beliefs are doing themselves a disservice.
Yeah, I mean, this is true for the most part, but you at least have to grant that a lot of scientists, at least before like the quote-unquote modern era, were religious. I mean, you can also argue that almost everyone was religious, but you have to at least grant that, right?
I would say somewhere. I don't know if I want to say anything about like a majority, because we have scientists from even before Christianity was a thing, or if you just want to talk about like theism in general, sure, I'd say probably most people, I don't know if I would say most people in history were theists, but
well, I guess most people in like the Western world which were by and large who developed our idea of science.
I would also say that a lot of people who are labeled as Christians don't necessarily map their beliefs onto Christianity. It's like how a lot of people say that the founding fathers of the United States were Christian, when in reality most of them were deists.
Yeah, I mean, this is true. No, I mostly agree with you on all of these topics. I guess, have trouble like reconciling that all Christians do, right? Because I did look up some stats, and it's actually scary how many people don't believe in science. And I will agree with you with this, but I looked up this study from Keeter. He found that roughly 50% of Catholics did accept the theory of evolution, and it depends on the type of, I guess, denomination you're talking about, but.
Well, let me ask you. Sorry, I'm just going to ask you a couple of things, and I'm talking specific to the United States because that's just where I am. The most experience that I have is in this culture. If you are to talk to someone from the U.S. that is anti-vax, what is most likely going to be their religious affiliation?
Yeah, I guess Christian.
Now, that's also not fair because so much of the population is Christian, but we do see a lot of these anti-science beliefs specifically rooted in Christianity. And I would argue that the rise of like the anti-vax movement is one of them. I would argue that like young Earth, because it's based in young Earth creation, flat Earth, again, because it's based in the idea of like the four corners of the earth as described in Job, those stem from Christian beliefs. So even though it may not be fair to say every single Christian denies science, a lot of science denial is founded in Christian beliefs.
Yeah, I guess you got me there.
Also, we love a little bit of sensationalism. It is the internet.
Yeah, and I agree that this is bad for the world and for our current like political, I guess, climate. It's just so bad.
And the literal climate.
Yeah, I guess like anecdotally, and it's also bad for like your health, right? Like you could literally die if you don't get vaccinated, and like it could be bad for society in large. But yeah, I guess anecdotally, like gay people, I'm gay. So that's why like I'm not Catholic anymore. I'm not like trying to be like, oh, like I'm coming out. No, that's why I said I'm gay.
No, that's cool.
Yeah,
I dabble on all teams.
Hell yeah. So yeah, it's just kind of crazy like how they say that, you know, like being gay isn't in nature, so therefore you shouldn't be gay. Well, there's a lot of cases in nature where being gay is actually seen,
but
right?
then it's so we want to be like the animals.
Exactly, like not everything in nature we should follow, right? Which is, it's also like a stupid argument. So their argument crumbles right there and then.
Oh yeah.
So I'm very passionate about like why gay isn't actually like viewed as bad in the Bible too, right? So it's just.
Well, thank you for stopping by. I am wrapping it up because I'm approaching 3 hours here, which for me is a lot. Yes. I don't know how some of these streamers put in like 6. So Javi, have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you for stopping by.
You too. Thanks for having me. This was cool.
Bye. I also want to point out that I do work a day job. So I got a full-time day job. I have this, and I have some other freelance work that I do. So I'm not trying to do the try being an influencer for a day. Try. I'm not trying to do that shit, all right? But a huge shout out, thank you, Juju Penguins, for saying hi, Robot the Goat. Thank you for providing the background barbecue for my needlework stabbing. Appreciate you muchly. Have an excellent evening. Well, thank you very much, Juju Penguins. I have some of my own craft stuff here. I tried to do like a little embroidery kit and I immediately broke it and it was no longer usable. So I'm gonna stick with my crochet for now. But if you're in our Discord, share pictures of your needlework, which is a good plug for everyone in here. If you're not already in the Discord, you should join that so you can share pictures of arts and crafts and pets and other fun things. Also, I will be posting in the Discord some information for those who are interested in becoming call screeners for me. On the nights that I do have call screeners available, I'm able to open up the queue to more people, particularly those who are watching from YouTube. And if you are a call screener, each stream that you screen, you get an entry into a raffle that I will draw at the first of each month. And I will make the winner a crochet piece from an array of options. I'll make it myself, send it to you for free. So, if you are interested in that, go check out the details in the Discord. If you're not already following or subbing, please. Come on. Hey, that worked for some people. I will see you all again on Thursday. Thank you for the Galaxy, Devil's Public Defender. For those of you who don't know, Devil's Public Defender is where I stole the name Ramsass from. So I appreciate that, even though I should owe you credit and definitely royalties, I'll give you all of the like $10 I've earned from my Ramsass streams. Not actually. I don't owe anyone anything ever, no matter what the IRS says. Thank you guys for stopping by. I am a little bit loopy because I am very tired. Have a wonderful evening. I'm gonna call it over on TikTok first. I'll see you guys around. Almost 3 hours, everyone. Woo! We made it through that, huh? Have a good rest.